Alright, I think we're back. I think we're good to go. So, good morning everyone, and welcome to the stream. This is the 74th episode of the Iron Man Challenge, which is also our third attempt at the Warlock race. So with that being said, let's go ahead and knock out the rules real quick. For the Iron Man Challenge in general, there's no dying, there's no gear above white quality, grays are okay. No gear enchants, no talents, no potions, no flasks, no elixirs, no health stones unless you're a warlock. No joining groups or raids, no killing dungeon or raid bosses. No food buffs, no XP boosting activities such as your recruiter friend, your monk ratio, your XP potions. No pet battle leveling, no battlegrounds, no arenas, no bodyguards. Referring to warlords, Draenor, or legion. And no professions except for first aid, which also includes your secondary professions. Shaminator. Good morning, how you doing? Sean, good morning as well. Thank you guys for tuning in first thing in the morning. So the YouTube challengers, the guys that are racing for the month of September, we have 45 who've registered so far. I think there's at least another 5 or 6 who haven't yet due to work. This is an open invitation, so anyone who's interested in doing the Warlock race for this month, we're doing it for Friends for Impact, which is a research group that does research on brain tumors that occur in children. We're just trying to promote, provide awareness for those guys and maybe generate a little bit of funds as well. Big news as far as that, they did meet their 5,000 pound goal as far as you know, what they had initially set out to achieve, so they're past that now. So thank you guys very much for contributing to that, being a part of that. Thank you very much. As far as the details of the race itself, it's a 2-part race where we see who has the fastest level from 1 to 60 playtime, and then who has the highest level character standing at the end of the month. This is kind of why you can join at any time at the end of the month, or during the month, should I say, because I think everybody who's made it past 20 has died at least 2 or 3 times. So it's just a lighthearted, open-ended challenge and race, so you guys are more than welcome to join. Let's see. John says, what level are you now? I am 26. Let me pull this down real quick. The rules are on your right, the challengers were on your left, and all the details, even my days off, everything's in the description. I do try to be as professional as possible in my description, so there is that. Yuri says, morning, Q. Good morning, Yuri. How are you doing? Welcome back. Says, do you want Vial of Sands for your giveaway on 1,000 subs? You know, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do. To be honest, I kind of want to, if we do anything, maybe provides a benefit for someone else. You know, like maybe we'll do a 12-hour stream or something like that for Friends for Impact, or maybe we could do the giveaway as well. I think there's the BlizzCon, there's a new mount as well as there's a new battle pet, so maybe we can do something like that. We'll kind of play it by ear and see how it goes. I don't want to make it gimmicky, if that makes any sense. I'd like the quality of our chat. I like the quality of the viewers in this channel. So if I feel like if I make it gimmicky, we pull in a different demographic. So as much as possible, I want it to keep it focused primarily on helping others and trying to provide a benefit for other people. So maybe we can throw out a Vial of Sands or something like that, but I appreciate that, thank you. But yeah, I'm not going to say no, but I'm not going to say yes just yet. We'll see how it plays out, but thank you, by the way. Morton says, good morning from Denmark. Well, good morning from the southern region of the United States. How are you doing? White Salt says, Hugh, what's going on? What's going on, White Salt? So yesterday we had an issue with the quality of the stream was buffering and lagging severely. I've updated all of my drivers. I've updated and I did get another hard drive, so I think what was happening was either OBS was struggling to record it on my hard drive and I was starting to run out of space, or something on YouTube. I don't know. We'll see what happens today. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get in there and start leveling. Pablo says, hello there. Good morning, Fabio. How are you doing? Welcome back. So like I said, the month of September is a lighthearted challenge, so we'll talk more about that as it comes along. I don't think Keithy was able to update the list today, so we'll touch back on that a little bit later. But with that, I think we did sell everything. Let me get rid of all my bugs here. And we had new shoes yesterday. So there we go. We got 1 extra armor out of that. Essentially for the Iron Man challenge, the only reason I'm switching out gear is just for the cosmetic of it. We have all of 44 armor, so it really doesn't matter how much your gear at all too much, aside from your melee and your hunter classes who directly use the impact or the damage from the weapons. But for us, it's pretty one-dimensional, just in the sense it gives us armor. And I did feel the AC cut off just now, so give me 1 second before this room turns into an oven. Sorry guys, 1 sec. Alright, back in business. But yeah, so yesterday we didn't level too much. I think we went from 33 to 36, but today hopefully we can make up for lost time. Let's see, we had the Infernos to watch out for, so I think the fastest way to get to those guys would be to fly south, maybe. So yeah, let's do that. Sean says, what spec are you using this time? I'm trying Destruction, actually. Let me fly over here. It seems like Destruction is a lot faster than it was with Affliction. The trade-off being, I think Affliction has a lot more of a stable DPS output, as well as a better survivability. Excuse me. So with that, it looked like I was consuming a lot of time just to level up a little bit. So this is pretty much closer to a mage more so than anything else, but I like it. It's a lot of fun. I'm not too much of a fan of the Voidwalker still. The problem with the Voidwalker is that, one, it has an AoE attack. You can turn it off, so it's not a big deal. But the other issue with the Voidwalker is that it's your quote-unquote tanking pet. But the problem with it is that it has such a low amount of health that it instantly dies. And the swiping ability can actually... It's actually killed 3 challengers so far this month with it swiping people in STV where it hits those 110 guards. So that is something to watch out for. We'll break out our little pet, go ahead and pop our health stones, or create them at least. For those who are new, for the Iron Man challenge, you cannot use health stones unless you're a warlock, so that's why we allow them here. It only says I got Bleep to 67. Now try to do a quest objective in the middle of a crowd of demons. You got, oh yeah, I saw that. I felt so bad for her, but she's leveling again, so kudos to her for that. To kind of give you guys an idea of the difficulty level of this challenge, there's been over 20,000 attempts to get to level up. We'll say it that way. Right, and as of now, there's only 22 110s. And in the race today, there's only been, out of the 45 people we've had attempt it, there's only been 2 people who've made it up to level 60. Only right there is level 67, so congrats only, by the way. Nell has also made it to 60, but unfortunately died. And hey, Nell, just saw you there. Good morning. I'm so sorry to hear the death this morning. How are you doing, by the way? Are you feeling better as far as the pregnancy goes? And Wine Salt says, never ask, where are you from, Kuhn? As of now, Wine Salt, I do typically say the southern region of the United States. I'm sure as the channel grows, one day I want to meet someone where I live, and you know the cat's going to be out of the bag. But as of now, I just say the southern region of the United States. What about yourself? And Eric says, morning, hope all is well. Good morning, Eric. Welcome back. Did I miss your comment earlier? No, that's it. Okay. With that, let's go ahead and start closing these portals here. The bad thing about this zone, you know what? That's what I need to do. I need to try to as much as possible, start out with Chaos Bolt. Because that's the massive benefit in being Destruction, is that you do have the Chaos Bolt, but it costs 2 soul shards, so the trade-off, oops, I didn't need to be as close to do that. Alright, so let's go ahead and I'm wondering if I should open up almost with my instant attack sometimes, just because if... Wow, Sam was getting destroyed there. Yeah, that's kind of why I'm not a huge fan of the Void Walker, but in situations like this, it is better than the Imp, because these Fel Guards can hit pretty hard. So with that, let's go ahead and... There is a rare out here somewhere, but we'll worry about them later. And we'll go ahead and close this gate. And pop them. The bad thing about the Chaos Bolt is it has like a 3-second cast, so the whole time you're just kind of like, well, we'll talk about nothing for about 3 seconds until this thing takes off. But let's see. Minge, good morning. Says morning, Kuhn. Sorted out the tech problems. I think so, Minge. I spent probably a good 3 or 4 hours yesterday trying to work out those issues and figure out what's going on. I think the lagging and buffering came from either YouTube and I don't know it, or it came from my OBS trying to download or record video onto my hard drive, and my hard drive was running out of space, so I think that was actually slowing down OBS overall on a whole. So I think I did work it out. Hopefully it goes smooth. So yeah, if you guys are watching, and especially if you're new to the channel and it looks like it's lagging out, let me know. I do make that a #1 priority, just to make sure the stream's not of bad quality. So the bad thing about this portal is that it can line of sight you. There we go. Now says it's okay, Bob is good. Alright, glad to hear it. Like I said, I'm sorry to hear the death. That's too bad. Like I said though, I think I mentioned it in, what was it, Discord. You've managed to get to 30, what, 5 times? And then 60 now once, and it's not even halfway through the month, so you're doing very well now. Don't let it get you down. Winesalt says, you are far away. I'm from Hungary. Oh, really? Well, welcome. Like I said, I'm glad to have someone from Hungary. I think you might be the first or second person I know from Hungary now, so thanks for chiming in, Winesalt. Alright, so let's go ahead and kill this guy just so we don't have him sneak up on us later. I need to start switching up to more aggressive. The nice thing I like about the Drain Soul, or Drain Life. Alright, so that didn't spawn anything. Usually it spawns some sort of Infernal when it does that, like that right there. So let's go ahead and you don't have much time to recover. Alright, there's that. So that's 5 of 10. If you download the quest, I guess what you want to call them, the dangerous quest for the Iron Man challenge, it's pretty in-depth and it lists a lot of dangerous quests to watch out for. One of those being this quest we're coming up on. This is probably my, I don't know, sixth time doing this, and I haven't had an issue with it yet. So, but I guess be warned, this is a rather dangerous quest, and we're just gonna, it's dangerous, one, because this guy's health and attack power is directly related to the gear that you're wearing, as well as you have patrols that run by here. So it looks like we're clear for a little while, so we'll use the quest item. We need to get closer, it looks like, or do we need to just target them? There we go. Alright, here we go. So the with this fight, it's pretty much all a matter of I wonder if I can move it. No, I can't move that. With this fight, it's pretty much a matter just of sitting there using all your cooldowns. So he's at 73%. We're at who knows what right now. And then we'll blast him with some more fire. But once the demon dies, the quest is over and you're good to go. I'm going to try to keep an eye on my warlock. He's right there. That is him right there. So you kind of want to keep an eye for the patrol, because when you take over this guy, you do lose your pet, so you're kind of out there by yourself. But he's down to about 10%. We're about to 50, so we're okay there, and we are good to go. So yeah, we did lose Sam, so we'll summon him back. Min says stream smooth today. All right. Now this shit happens. It does. It does. It's just one of those things that For those who may be considering starting the Ironman challenge with us, especially for September, one thing you have to kind of be prepared for is it's going to be very difficult to one-shot this. I haven't seen anyone do it so far. Even the most experienced person, who is it only, has managed to dive once, but in all fairness, that was due to a bug. So a bug, a PvP encounter, or anything like that still counts as a death, so it does make this pretty challenging. Let's go ahead and close that gate, and we'll see if we can not line of sight. There we go. Mindset says, are you planning to try again those quests which caused previous deaths, like Shoals Arbeza in one shot? That one, no. And the reason being, a lot of times your one shot quests, I will try to do them again, but the reason I'm not going to do that one is that it's much later in the questing series, so there's not much advantage in doing that, meaning that, you know, there's, oops, let's do the spell. That particular quest isn't gating a lot of other follow-up quests, if that makes any sense. So there's no real benefit in doing it, especially when you consider at that point you have normally close to 2 days worth of playtime on your character, so it's not all that beneficial to do quests like that, especially toward the end of the zone. I would say 9 times out of, maybe not 9, I'd say 50% of the time, you kind of want to really scrutinize which quests you pick up toward the end of the zone, because those usually have you kill your mobs that have those one-shot encounters. So, and let's see, Periton says, morning Kuhn, hope you and your connections are well today. Thank you, Periton. I think we're alright. So far, everything on my end's in the green. I did have to go out and get another hard drive, so that's another cost up on the streaming side of things, but I think we're doing alright now. So the trick to streaming or recording your streams a lot of times is that if you do that, you want to have a hard drive that can write as fast as you stream, if that makes any sense. The higher the quality, the faster the hard drive you want. So that's something we were out actually looking for the other day, or yesterday actually. So with that, oh, that's the last one we need right there, I think. So we did get it. I think we're good. So, and Min says, I'm 36 on 100 and still using a level 29 bow. Where can I get the better weapons you use? Oh, Minge, honestly speaking, I think 29 bow is what got me to 60 at least twice. There is one. It's called the BKP 34. BKP something, maybe it's 41, but it's a gun that you can only equip once you're level 31, and it's pretty much the best what you're going to see until you get into the Outland. Iku says good morning. Vex says good morning, Kim. Good morning, guys. How are you doing? How's your morning going? We are doing pretty well here, flying through this stuff. I've never seen these guys patrol through here, so we'll avoid them. This quest is let's see if we can pop that up on the quest here. It's orange. Most of the time, I'd say 99% of the time, you want to avoid those. But in doing it with the hunter and doing it with the warlock last time, we didn't have too many issues. Really, no issues. So we're gonna keep going with it this time. It does give us a decent amount of XP. There's not too much of a risk. So. Especially with the Chaos Bolt. Man, that thing's nice. Alright, so with that, he's down, and we'll keep going through here. Then it only says, Whitehead lets you do a database search on white and gray weapons. Yes, it does. I haven't, here recently only, when I used that database, it has been a little bit buggy for me, so I don't know when's the last time you used it, but it has been buggy for me in the past couple months when doing that type of search. But then again, I could be doing it completely wrong, but I think I'm doing it right. It's just a little difficult to I did not want to use that spell. That's alright. So with that, let's go ahead and launch this one into the air here. And Brasado says, is there a WoW challenges doable in 2 people. Brazado, not really. I mean, you can do your own challenge if you want, but as far as official Iron Man, no. The idea behind that is that it's a very solo type of challenge, so there's not too much to be able to group up with. And one of the rules being that you can't group up with anyone for any reason. And I think that's, yeah, that's pretty encompassing. You can't do any sort of battlegrounds. You can't do any sort of dungeons. So yeah, it's pretty much a solo challenge to the highest extent. I think there was a talk about doing some sort of Iron Man challenge that's group based, but I haven't heard anything more than rumors as far as that goes. And Zaku says, "Hey Q, how's it going? Any problems? Welcome back, Zaku." Yep, no, today seems all green lights. It seems like we're doing pretty good today, so I think, yeah, I apologize for yesterday's stream. I don't know what was doing that. The only 2 issues I could think of is my my OBS or YouTube in general. We've had issues with YouTube chat in the past, so I just thought maybe that was part of it. We'll see how it plays out today. And we'll blow this guy up as well. But yeah, no, Zaku, welcome back, by the way. I think we're good for the most part. Alright, so those guys are a little close together. We can probably blow up that one without too much of an issue. And grab this next one here. Only says, I'd link the WoW page for BKP42, but YouTube eats links. It does. I don't know why, but it does. I think I do. I think sometimes a lot of the bots that float around and go from chat to chat and link a bunch of websites. So I think they just kind of kill all websites. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and blow this guy up. And we'll drop our crate here, and then we're going to run and get out the way. So what's going to happen is it's going to spawn a bunch of neutral guys, and you want to try to kill them as quickly as possible, just because they once they make it to this item, they do turn aggressive. So we're going to try to nuke them as quickly as possible here. And we'll grab that one. And the other thing about them is that they do, I think I'm too close, let me back up. They do actually, you have to loot them. That's where I'm trying to get. You do have to loot them. You want to grab the items off them, and then we'll take care of this guy here. So I'll catch up with chat. Usually stuff like this is what gets me behind, or if I look away is what gets me killed. So I'll catch back up here in a second. And with that, we have 5 of 8. We'll nuke this guy here. My Chaos Bolt does hit for about 1044 on these guys. I think it's kind of relative to how much armor they have, but generally speaking, it hits pretty hard. And then Paradin says, where do you pull the data from the character levels for the Iron page that pop up from time to time? So Keithy's been within the Discord. Let's see. They're a little dense right there, but maybe we'll blow this one up first. Yeah, it looks like he didn't pull too many others, so get a big Chaos Bolt on him, and I'll answer that as soon as I get out of here. This is going to be 8, and we're good. Alright, so with that, let's go, and I suppose we could make our way over here and knock this quest out. It's not too bad for the most part, but Paradin, so for the, I'll pull up just so we have something tangible to look at. The Warcraft rules that you see on your right come from wowchallenges.com. That is in the link to that is in the description. The link to the other 45 players who are participating this month, like I said, I think there's another 5 or so who haven't started yet due to work reasons or school or whatever. So we do have over 50 challengers, I believe, at this point. So you guys are more than welcome to join at any time. Keithy, who is leading the event, is actually keeping up with it. So that's kind of how where I pull it from. I think he said he wasn't able to update this morning for whatever reason, so that is up to date as far as yesterday. Wrong link there. Only did say he was up to 67 at the moment, so it is a little outdated, but it shouldn't be too old. Let's see, Sion, welcome back, Sion. I haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing? Says, hey man, been a long time since I was here. How's it going so far? Did the hurricane or whatever that was passed? Yeah, so Hurricane Irma actually knocked out our internet and power for about 24 hours. But it wasn't too bad actually. There wasn't much flooding on my end, and the winds were relatively tame. We did have a couple of tornado scares, but outside of that, it wasn't bad at all on my end. I know the southern region of Florida got hit pretty hard. It says, okay, I'll contact Keithy as it still shows me as level 1, level 39. Alright, Paradin, what's the name of your character? I will try to keep that updated as well. If Keithy misses it, I'll put it in Discord for you. Fun! Thank you for the subscription and good morning. How are you doing? Let's see, Paradin. For those that are new to the channel, I do write down stuff quite a bit, so if you see me writing stuff down, it's just to keep up with everyone in the future as much as feasibly possible. Alright, so at this point we need to find these guys. This quest can be dangerous if done wrong, and I'll explain more as we get closer to it and we actually conduct it, but yeah, this one you kind of want to be careful of as well. The big Legion guys, like I said, these guys, they can kill you pretty quick. They do hit like trucks. There is a tactic to killing them, and I'll show that here in a second. But let's go ahead and grab the quest. Paradin says, I'm on that list, character number 39. Okay, character 39, level 34 at the moment. And Mr. Ragnar, thank you for the subscription and good morning. How are you doing? Level 34. Alright, Paradin. Like I said, if Keithy misses it, I'll try to update and put that in Discord and keep up with that as much as possible. Alright, so with that, we'll dismount and we're ready. So we're pretty much riding this guy into battle, and we're going to work our way in this direction. So everybody's attacking. This guy's about to die, so we're going to leave him alone at the moment. What you want to do for this particular leg of the quest is wait for these large guys to either be tanked by another centaur or to be casting Rain of Fire, and at that point they can't really move. So to sit there and open up with him, open up on him when he's standing there like that is a really bad idea. I haven't had too much success in doing that, but yeah, you just want to be careful of those guys. They do hit like trucks, and we're just... The good thing about them is I think for the most part they stay still, so you don't have to worry about them patrolling around. But we do need to kill 3 of them as well as the priestess, so we're going to make our way in this direction. Also, the bad thing or rough thing about this area is that it is a really fast respawn rate, or has a really fast respawn rate, so we'll go ahead and take care of that. Let these guys take care of the imps, and we'll take care of him as well, and I'll catch up with chat. Sion says, missed your live streams. Oh, thank you, Sion. I missed you as well. How have you been doing? How's life treating you? I know you've been busy. Alright, so with that, alright, so he's casting Rain of Fire. He has a good... The mob that's taking him has a good amount of health, so we'll go ahead and engage him at this point. The mob, you can see, has about 53% health. Maybe we can come off and save it. And yeah, don't be afraid to run. That's probably the best way to tank these guys, is just to flat out run and let your minions kill them. Miss Ragnar says, doing well, thank you. Thank you as well, Miss Ragnar. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Alright, so I don't know what he's doing. Oh, he's the guard. Okay, we'll leave him alone. We're going to let her patrol that way. I am going to clear out this little area real quick. And he just killed that centaur. So let's go ahead and help this guy out real quick. As much as possible. Alright. So with that. Yeah, like I said, with these elites like right here, you either want to wait until they're casting Rain of Fire or stuck to another mob. Just straight up attacking one like that right there is not the best idea in the world. Let's see. What I'm going to do is try to clear a path. Wow, he's got a long slow on me. Alright, there we go. Alright, so that just respawned behind me. And yeah, we're going to have to kill it. Okay, that works. I want to get to the priestess before... Yeah, so since he's casting Rain of Fire, he's pretty much stuck there. But I do want to get to the priestess before she gets to the next mob. She's difficult, especially if you take her one-on-one, and we have respawns already popping up around us. But if you just outrun her, it's not too big of a threat. Like I said, these guys run really quick, and they also do a lot of damage, so running is usually the best course of action. Alright, so that's done. And we need more of these guys taken out. Perfect. And KMG says, hey, gonna do other things for a while, but putting your stream in the background is soothing. Well, thank you, KMG. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. I'm just glad soothing is the word of choice. Oops, we do have something pop up behind us, so we'll go ahead and take care of that now. And we are up to 13 of 15. And we're just pretty much at this point, we've knocked out the priestess, we've knocked out the 3 big demons. We'll just work our way back to the quest giver because the follow-up is going to have us go in a different direction. And we just want to get out of here as soon as possible. And Jen says, hi Q. Good morning, Jen. Long time no see. So asked, do you remember me? I do. Good morning. How you been? We've run quite a bit since you've last been here. So good morning, by the way. How's everything going your way? Alright, so we have that quest to turn in. At this point, we're going to take a different path to knock out the next leg of the quest, meaning that we're going to go along in this direction. It's a little bit slow, but it just kind of completes the whole zone, so we'll knock it out. That way, once we're done with it, we'll just hearth and knock out these 2 quests. So with that, we'll go ahead and knock that out, grab the next one, and off we go. And I've actually caught up with chat today. That's kind of impressive. So with that, we'll go ahead and knock out this guy here. I guess I should go ahead and say it now. When usually chat does have a element to it where about an hour or hour and a half into the stream, sometimes it'll pick up faster than I can read. So if it does happen to come across that and you're new to the channel, if there's something you're asking me and I don't immediately respond to it, feel free to ask again, obviously without spamming, but I do try to keep up with chat as much as possible. Alright, so we're going to kill this guy. Like I said, the respawns are pretty quick here, so we don't want to spend too much time allowing these guys to heal up. They are taking a good bit of damage. There we go. But I think the greater danger is to wait for all your little guys to heal back up, just because the respawn rate's so fast that you'll end up fighting more than you can handle. And I think we just lost a guy, so we'll summon some more with us. I think that's how this works. I don't think I've lost a guy before, so let's see. Let's see, I did use a spell. I don't see any more guys joining me though. Cost for additional centaur units to assist you. Yeah, I don't see them. Okay. Alright, so we'll keep going. We don't need them too awful much, but it would be nice to have them. Jen says, yep, I have exams going on so far. I have not been here often. It's all good. You take care of those priorities. I think for me, just because I've had that experience in my life, I do highly value education and the pursuit of it. So by all means, if that's your priority, this is definitely not one. So take care of that while you can. Let's go ahead and work our way around in this direction. Alright, so with that, we'll knock out this guy real quick. Previously, I haven't had to worry about this one. We can usually sneak by it without it seeing us. Usually. Usually when I say that as well, doesn't always end up being true. Okay, we're good. So I'm wondering why we're not getting more guys behind us. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Maybe it's bugged out. I thought it was supposed to call reinforcements, but maybe not. That's alright, we've kind of committed to this path. The other thing is, once we get to the last guy in this, path, it ends up calling more centaurs anyway, so it's not too big of a deal. So we'll just sit there and throw spears at this guy the entire time. So we have these two, and then more. Yeah, there we go. More should be coming. So I think as long as you don't get hit by the other elite demons, you're alright for the most part. It's just making sure you steer clear of those guys, because they can definitely kill you. With that, let's go ahead and turn that in real quick. And I think there's a follow-up somewhere. We'll pop off here. Maybe not. Okay, that's fine. So we'll go ahead and hearth back and fly there, I guess. I actually have to run to one of the quest turn-ins, but Jen says it's awesome that you got almost. Oh, okay. Got almost 1K subs, and it happened in less time than I expected. Well, thank you, Jen. I appreciate that, and thank you everyone for being a part of that. Actually, that's been flattering to say the least. Alright, so with that, we need to go that way. But it's also been a lot of fun. I think I probably would be doing the Iron Man Challenge anyway, just because the Iron Man Challenge in and of itself is a lot of fun. But this makes just interacting with chat and talking about Warcraft, talking about the things that are happening throughout the lore, as well as the Iron Man race this month. By the way, I think we're doing another Iron Man race. Oh, Simon, thank you for the subscription, and welcome to the stream, by the way. Good morning. We are going to do another Iron Man race, but not to do too much of it. I think we're going to wait till December and maybe have another charity that we provide for, with maybe donations and whatnot. Like I said, in December. More than likely, it may be similar to just another Iron Man challenge. I don't know. A lot of times the WoW Challenges website does their own type of Warcraft challenge, so I don't want to overlap with theirs. I don't want to take from their event by any means, so I'll try to space it out and check with the website, see if they're doing anything in December. If not, then maybe we'll do a hunter race or a paladin race, or something like that. Just make it a little bit different. But I think everybody's really enjoyed doing the warlocks in the stream, so I'd like to kind of keep that going and build somewhat of a small little Iron Man community here on YouTube, which we've done so far with almost 50 participants, and that is level 37. David says, how come whenever I turn into you on Deathless but with a different tune? David, I have no idea, man. That's kind of funny you say that, but because the truth of the matter is, Deathless and Silithus are probably my least favorite zones, but yeah, I don't know why it is that you time that so well. Oh, we have a rare, so let's go ahead and work our way to that. At this point, we are almost level 40. Rares aren't that important anymore, but they do provide BOE items. And I would say anywhere from a quarter to a third of a normal mob's health. Sorry, a normal quest XP reward. There we go. So with that, we did get a BOE, and we're off to the races once again. But yeah, David, that's kind of funny you say that. I think this is what my 8th Ironman Challenger. My 5th hunter still alive, just because that was the level he was at when we switched over to the September race. But we'll pick him back up in October, and then this is my 3rd Warlock. So we've been doing this for quite some time and quite a bit. Let's see if we can avoid that guy. Shadow says, "Hi Kyun, good morning Shadow. How are you doing? Welcome back." We're doing pretty well actually. We have made it to 37 today, and we're all of about 40-45 minutes into the stream, so that's not too bad at all. Only says Kyun's Iron Tunes don't die, they just get syndicated into Deathless reruns. Yeah, I think that would be worse than hell, to be honest. Those Deathless is a pretty bland. It's bland just because I prefer the aesthetic of a forest or a jungle or something like that. But also a lot of times throughout Deathless, you kind of find yourself doing one quest at a time rather than, you know, killing mobs and then picking stuff up in the same area or having to kill a named mob. But for Deathless, a lot of the questing is very linear. Once you do one quest, you follow it up with another quest, and it's just one at a time throughout the entire zone. So I try to minimize that as much as possible, but sometimes there's just no getting around it. And David says, "Anyway, great job. Found you late when I watch you in all uploaded videos." All right, David. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. I don't have enough time to follow you live. I just wait for when you are in Deathless. Very nice. Well, thank you for stopping by the way. We will be doing this for the Warlock for the rest of September, for those who are maybe unfamiliar. This is a Warlock race. Once we make our way back into October, depending on how far along we are with the Warlock, you know, if we're say level, if I can speak, level 85 or something like that, on the Warlock, we'll probably push that into October. But all signs so far indicate that that won't be a problem. We'll see how it goes. And then Paradin says, "I hope your girlfriend and Sam are okay after yesterday's scratch." Yeah, Sam gets excited. We trim his claws. For those who don't know, I have a 20-year-old cat. We try to trim his claws as much as possible, but sometimes he freaks out a little bit from time to time. And I guess that time he just incidentally scratched her. Didn't draw blood or anything, so that's good. It's not like we have to go to the doctor for anything, but yeah, it's not good when a cat scratches, especially bites you and draws blood. I think if 9 times out of 10, if a cat bites you and draws blood, you probably want to get that checked out. Sometimes they can harbor bacteria that's very hard for your body to fight off by itself. Blow this guy up real quick, grab the satchel, and then pretty much get 4 more of these little lobster tails. It says, "Hope your girlfriend." Yep. Yeah, like I said, the cat itself is 20 years old, and here recently he's been a little moody. Sometimes he'll spend the whole day by himself, so I don't know if that's just something he's going through, or if that's a sign of really old age. But we are keeping an eye on him as much as possible. With that, let's go ahead and dot this guy up here. We have how many? We still need 3 more. With that, we are 53 of 55 quests completed, so we are going to make it to Fairless today, and hopefully make it to level 40 at the very least. and that's going to put us pretty close to where we died last time in 1,000 needles. We died last time at 42 because of a rare spawn bugging out. This time we know what to look out for. We'll take it as a different approach in case he's still up. That particular rare, there's no getting around. He does sit in the middle of the mobs, so you kind of just have to systematically work your way to and through them. But blow this guy up real quick. But at least we know what to do next time. That's not fly directly overhead and allow him to free shoot us the whole entire time. Alright, so that's 5 of 7. The other thing in this area, you'll notice that this is the second horde banner along that path, so I don't want to get too much closer to that thing, just because an NPC, for those that are new to the Iron Man challenge, there's not too much of a quicker way of dying than being found out or hit by a faction NPC. If it's a high level, of course it'll kill you instantly. If it's a low level and you're able to survive it, it's going to flag you for PvP, and then you have to deal with everyone in the area. So, whoa. We don't need to fight that guy. Stay away from that. And yeah, we're good. So the drop rate for these things isn't in our favor this morning. Last time we were able to make a whole circuit through here and get all 7, but this time I think we might have to wait on respawns to a certain extent. And Viva says good morning. Good morning, Viva. Welcome back. How are you doing? We are now 37. Probably get about halfway into it before we go into Fairless, so not doing too bad overall. This is our 3rd attempt. While I think hopefully that'll be number 7 negative. Okay. I try not to. You guys saw me there just to open my bags. I try not to open my bags too much, just because if you accidentally click on a soulbound item and equip it to you, it's pretty much the same thing as dying. So you just want to stay out of your bags as much as possible. The only time I go in through them and sort them out is when we have to sell stuff, and then I'll go through. That way, if there's any sort of misclicks, it just means I sell it, so not too big of a deal. Pablo says, almost time to try demonology. You know, I am kind of excited. I'm hoping that... Did we get it? Yeah, we did. Okay. I'm hoping that the Felgar is just going to be kind of a train and allow us to just blast through a lot of mobs. If it doesn't look like it's turning into that, I'll probably give it a level or two worth of effort to see if I can master the rotation, and then you know, give it a chance to be as competitive as destruction. But when it comes to destruction and versus affliction, I don't think there's too much of a time comparison. Destruction just seems to blow things up extremely quickly. I could probably be a lot more efficient with destruction if I utilized my Chaos Bolt more often, but I just haven't done so. If for no other reason, just because I forget. So, but yeah, I am looking forward to getting the Felgar out and seeing if we can blast through some mobs here. Alright, so that's done. And that's done. I don't know if there's a follow-up. There is. Take the item there. Okay, so we do have to fly back. Alright, so I think once we knock out this next quest, we're done in this area. This next quest will just have us fly over and drop a bunch of bombs on the Naga in the area, so that won't be too bad. And View says, good. Need to work dot. Drop by to check to see how it's going. Well, I appreciate you stopping by, Viva. Good morning, by the way. Or once again, we're doing all right. We've leveling, I wouldn't say slow, but Deathless in and of itself isn't the most efficient zone. I still think it's better to stick it out here and make your way to Fairless rather than switching back and forth between Eastern Kingdoms, but we have spent a significant amount of time here. My playtime for level 35 is 11 hours and 14 minutes, so maybe with enough Iron Man we can map out some sort of timing and see if it's good or bad to stay here or switch over to Eastern Kingdoms. The other problem with switching over to Eastern Kingdoms is I don't have that base knowledge of which quests are dangerous, which ones to really look out for, or operate from a different angle. So I do know to watch out for the Stranglethorn camp with neutral mobs. If you have your Voidwalker out, it's a really bad idea to do so. The Voidwalker has a cleave ability, and if you fight a mob within the little camp, the neutral camp, I forget what it's called, he can cleave one of the 110 guards, and then that 110 guard will, after he's one-shot your pet, will one-shot the Warlock as well. So we're just going to dot these guys up here. I think that lizard's there every single time we come over here. The giants are pretty far and few in between for this quest, so if you see them, you definitely want to prioritize those guys first. You only need to kill 3, but there's not many of them to begin with, and I think I missed. Did I? No, I got them. Okay. And they move around quite a bit, so you just want to make sure you knock those guys out. There we go, 2 of 3. And then this one right here. And we need a few more of these guys. I can't remember if it's the light ones or the dark ones that we need to kill. Oh, we got them. Perfect. So, alright, we'll head back now. And then, let's see. Now it says Nessamuri. Yeah, I think, I don't know who's died there, but I know there's been at least 2 or 3 deaths that I've seen so far. Well, Keithy did the other day, actually. I felt bad for Keithy because that's a rough death. So hopefully he'll work his way back up there. I think he may be streaming now. So if you have any questions as far as the Warlock race, the Warlock Ironman race for this month, if I'm not available, we do have Discord linked in the description. I think it's the first link, so feel free to click on that. But also Keithy1980 is, like I said, I think he's streaming now, I'm not sure, but he streams on both YouTube and Twitch, and if you have any questions, he's more than happy to answer them. He is actually the one that's leading the charity event, and he's also giving out prizes for those who have the fastest level 60 time, as well as the highest level standing at the end of the month. And I think there was a third prize, but it's a little bit of mystery what that third prize is for, or what's it going to be. So the flight pass is not going to get us to Fairless, so we got to run it. We can fly south though, so we'll do that. Just for the flight duration, we'll put this up. For those that are new to the channel, the rules are on your right. The other Ironman challengers for this month are on your left. I did add a note in there that feel free to join us at any time during this month. There's really no advantage in coming in later or earlier. I would say it starts to probably be a disadvantage to come in maybe the last week of the month, but as of now, there's really no disadvantage. We only have one person that's above level 60, and I think that's it. I think, yeah, because Nell did make it to 60, but unfortunately died this morning. So we'll put that back down here, and off we go. Conspiracy says hello. Good morning, Conspiracy. How are you doing? Welcome back. It says I missed the start of the stream. What's going on, Ryan? Good morning. How are you doing? Welcome back, by the way. We did start at about 68.5, and we're now a little over 37.5, and I think I need to go this way. Yeah, this way. We haven't missed too much. We've just been talking about the leveling process, a little bit of the Warlock challenge. These guys are all on my side now, so we don't have to worry about aggroing anything. And we are back in Fairless, almost caught up to where we are last time. We have about 5 more levels, and should be good to go. I'm just glad to get out of the desert for today. How's your morning going, Ryan? I says, not good. Got an ear infection. Have to take 2 weeks off. Oh my goodness, really? That's a bad ear infection. Is it just from swimming, or what's the cause, Ryan? I'm sorry to hear that, by the way. Fabio says, where are you from, Kyun? Fabio, I'm from the southern portion of the United States. And I says, I'm from Portugal. It's noon here. Oh, wow. Well, thanks for chiming in from Portugal. Glad to have you, by the way. So we have Portugal, we have Hungary, and quite a few other countries in the chat. So welcome, everyone. Thank you for chiming in. As far as you say it's noon there, I usually wake up around 4 a.m. and then we start streaming at 6 a.m. here. So a significant portion of my audience does come from Europe. So welcome, everyone. Glad to have everyone a part of the stream. I think as we get into later in the morning, we have more and more from the United States, but especially those early hours are from outside the U.S. Ryan says, do you have, Erie says, oops, I missed it. Way behind now. Ryan says, yes, it's from swimming. It's in the same year as the second time it's happened. Oh, wow. So, Ryan, do you have to wear earplugs at this point? Or is it... Do earplugs help at all? Yuri says, from Brazil. Yep, there's Brazil here. Welcome once again, Yuri. Thank you. Ryan says, do you have Scotland on there, Kuhn? I don't think we do. I don't think I've heard Scotland yet. Conspiracy says, hey, Ryan, try not to use foul language too much. There are some young people in here. Yeah, you know, as far as language goes, what's the best way to put it? This is an adult channel, you know what I mean? It's going to happen. So my request is just to minimalize it, but you know, if every so often when it pops up, it's not the worst thing in the world, but yeah, it's not a big deal. I'm more accurate, or more promptly chase after the genitalia slurs. That seems to be, I don't know. I want it to be a channel that's that you would be comfortable watching with your parents, or your parents being comfortable watching with their children. So if a curse happens so often, it's not the worst thing. I curse every so often, but yeah, it's the request is minimalized, not too big of a deal. For the most part, we have a really good chat, so I don't stress that out too much at all. Let's see. Ryan says you do now. Well, thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that. Welcome. Good morning from the southern region of the United States. So is it cold in Scotland right now? 'Cause I can't remember if what time of the year you guys get your winter. I thought it's the same time as us, since we're on the same side of the equator, but I know you guys are pretty far up north. So here in the southern region of the United States, it can be September, October, and we can still hit 100 sometimes Fahrenheit. But I know that changes drastically as you go up further north. Brandon says, have you always been on early bird 4 a.m. is early to get up each day? No, believe it or not. When I was fresh out of high school and working for a living, I had, oops, let's go ahead and kill that. I was one of those guys that, ooh, that bird hits hard. I was one of those guys that decided to go out to the workforce first. One, because, you know, just simply could not afford an education and going to college and whatnot. But also, you know, in combination with that, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So in tying those two things together, you know, I decided to work. And looks like we have a bug. Sorry, guys. I think we left the windows open because the air was kind of nice yesterday, and I think a mosquito or two got in, so that's what that was. But no, going back to what we were saying, as far as the education goes, let's go ahead and kill this guy. And I'm way behind chat, so one sec. That's there we go. As far as the education goes, I lost where I was going with that, believe it or not. Between the mosquito and the mobs I was killing, I completely lost where I was going with that. Alright, so there is a rare over here. Hopefully he's up, but yeah, I think I see him. But anyway, we'll just finish the story just because we were talking about it. But yeah, I was one of those people that had to wait to go to college. So I do kind of, whenever I hear someone talking about what they're doing for college, whether it's studying for the, let me see if I remember it, ETSE? I know there's a GTSC or something like that. I'll get my acronyms down eventually, but I do kind of prioritize that more than anything else. And let's see. Okay, Fabio. Thank you, Fabio. As far as while I was working, yeah, so for me, that's kind of why I had to go to work first. Just because we couldn't afford a proper education. So I do prioritize that as much as possible and promote it in the channel as much as possible, because I've been able to see firsthand at how much an education can make a difference. So I've kind of lost the that the story had, just because I lost my line of thought. So, oh, the waking up early. Thank you. Jesus Christ. Sorry, guys. All right. So with that, in working, I had to work second and third shift, because in the manufacturing industry, priority is generally given to those with the most. The priority of the shift is given to those with the most seniority. So I had to work second and third shift for a good, man, I don't know, 4 years. And third shift was the roughest, I think, to me. Just trying to sleep on a sleep in the afternoons was the hardest thing for me. But all that being said, it did take a couple years for me to get into that rhythm and schedule of being able to sleep, go to bed early as well as get up early in the morning. So it's one of those things that just kind of comes with time. But keep up with chat. I am way behind chat just because my story took so much longer than it was supposed to. Alright, let's go ahead and keep going through here and summon Sam back. But yeah, as far as waking up early, it's just one of those things that I did with my first job coming out of college, and so it's just kind of been built into my habits, and I've gotten to where I actually enjoy getting up before the sun's up. If I don't, I feel like I'm behind the rest of the day, or the whole day. And we still need more of these things, so let's do that. So that's kind of why I get up as early as I do. But Ryan says, nope, no earplugs. They make it worse. I just need to spray stuff in there. What about like a cap, Ryan? Like one of those swimmer's caps? Can they cover your ears entirely, or is that still the same thing and making it worse? I've never done any sort of competitive swimming, so I have no idea. Pitbull says, good morning. Vietnam, hello, motherland. Tell me how you doing. Good morning, Pitbull. We're doing pretty well. We're about 25% from level 38. And talking about sleep patterns and whatnot, of all things this morning. How's your morning going, by the way? I need to be using Chaos Bolt. I think that's what's slowing me down probably the most, single-handedly, is not using the Chaos Bolt, because it is a free, pretty much one-shot, so I need to do that. Let's try to avoid the bird. And there is another rare. It's a snake with wings. I forget what you call those things, but it does fly around in this area. Alright, so with that, we have the last antler there, and we'll make our way toward these harpies over here. Let's see, Ryan says, does anyone know what Kieran's HUD is? I need a new HUD. Ryan, so I think Conspiracy says it's in the description. Yes, it is. My collection of buttons right here is Bartender. The nameplates in this location, as well as over here, is Z-Pearl. These nameplates are Tidy Plates, and then the map right here is Sexy Maps. I prefer the square map over the round one just because the square and circular map kind of utilize the same amount of space, but the square one just makes it a lot more efficient. Right now we're just kind of looking for that rare. Yeah, it kind of covers a wide area, but more often than not I've seen it over here. But maybe not today. Yeah, we have to come back over here anyway to kill these guys in a second, so we'll just keep going in this direction. Not a big deal if we don't see it. And then Retired Lurker. Oh, that's a funny name. Very nice. It says, so you only use whites, gray gear, and so on? Yes, sir, Retired Lurker. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Let me put those up since we have a couple new guys to the channel. The Ironman rules are on your right, and the challengers for this month are on your left. And I'll just keep those up for about 30 seconds. But in short, it is leveling from 1 to 110 without dying, only using white and gray quality gear. The other thing is that it's a very solo challenge, so you don't want to group with anyone at all, whether it's for a dungeon, a battleground. It's pretty much only leveling through questing or grinding mobs, because they don't even allow pet battles. But just so that it doesn't clog up the stream, we'll pull that back down. If you guys want to see it, I can put it back up. That's no problem at all. Oops, let's go ahead and use Chaos Bolt. Alright, so with that, we'll keep plowing. We're working our way toward the named mob more than anything else. So, whoops. I'm gonna face pull this thing. And then Ryan says, I hate swimming caps, don't like using them. And I know we went over this last time. It's called a Sky Serpent. I know there's an individual name though for it, Ryan. It's I know, not Wyvern, because we did mention that that's the Horde mount, but there is a name for a snake with wings, and it's I guess Sky Serpent is one of them, but I feel like there's a one-word name for those things. I just can't remember what it is now. It says all those add-ons make up the UI, and let's see, that makes sense. And I'm way behind chat, so let me catch up. Pitbull says, nice waking up. Shy looking. I can hardly watch your stream. Internet sucks today. Feels like a 56K modem. Oh, it's alright, Pitbull. I completely understand. We had a rough quality stream yesterday, so for whatever reason it was extremely laggy. I think it was on my end. I did change stuff up with regards to the hard drive, so hopefully it's coming through. If you guys do experience lag or buffering of any sort, buffering's probably going to be more so on the viewer end, but if it is buffering, let me know anyway, just because there's really no point in streaming if people aren't able to view the stream without any sort of buffering and whatever else is associated with a poor quality stream. So I do try to make that a high priority to make sure that's alright. Ryan says, generalized name is Sky Serpent. And Gary says, Wind Serpent Scoon. Maybe so. I just feel like, I'm going to have to look that up. And Pitbull says, Chimera. I think Chimera is the two-headed serpent dragon-like thing. But, I'm going to look that up. I feel like it was once called a wyvern, but maybe I'm wrong. It wouldn't be the first time I'm wrong, so that would just add to the list of things I've learned throughout the channel. And I'm still not using Chaos Bolt. I want to make a note of that, just so we're back on this tomorrow, and we'll kind of go through this learning process together. Is a snake wings called. For those that are new to the channel, I do write down a lot of stuff, so I do apologize for the pause in the stream, but like I said, I think it goes back to me and not being able to afford an education, that it's kind of been ingrained into me to learn as much as I can as I do whatever it is I'm doing. So with that being said, sometimes I'll write down quite a bit. So I apologize if that delays the stream in any sort of way, but that is one of the priorities for me. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and one-shot this. Nope, we're going to save it, actually. We're going to save it for the mob we're about to summon. Beard Masher. What's cool? I have no idea what that is, Beard Masher. But I think that's the first time I've seen names, so welcome to the stream. Ryan says that's a prehistoric bird. Let's see. Alright. Do we have to kill all these guys before we can summon this thing? Maybe we do. It didn't seem like we... No, there's a horn. Never mind. There we go. So with that, go ahead and light this guy up. And we'll actually use a little bit of a health funnel there. Our Drain Soul. Pitbull says, a snake with a wing is usually called mother-in-law. That's funny. As far as I know, don't tell her. Very nice. That's pretty funny, actually. Alright, so let's blow this one up. And then Beardmaster said, woke up, saw your channel. Good luck, Iron Man. Thank you, Beardmaster. Master, not Master. Masher. I appreciate that. How's your morning going, by the way? I'm going to blow up this guy real quick just because we need one more. Not of the blue ones. We need a red one. There we go. Alright. We'll summon Sam here once again in a second. I think he can survive one more attack with this thing. And perfect. Alright, so with that, I don't think we bound our Hearthstone there, which is a mistake. We need to do that next time. So we'll go ahead and there is a horde camping area, I believe, like right here. So I'm going to just stay along the side of the wall as much as possible. And let's see. Pretty much the head. We'll go ahead and avoid that bird as well. And let's see. I think we're far enough away. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, so, you know, as we've mentioned earlier, the NPCs, even if you're on... Whoa. Going the wrong direction. Yeah, that's dangerous. Even if you're on a PvE server or an RP server, if you run into the wrong camp or run too close to the faction guards of the opposing faction, if they don't kill you, they'll at least flag you for PvP, which then means you have a whole new set of problems for the next 5 minutes. So just kind of watch out for those guys as much as possible. Pitbull says, are the trials during the challenge limited in any ways, or can you start from 0 as much as you want to? Yeah, you can, Pitbull, you can restart as much as you want to. The only restriction outside of the Iron Man challenge is that we're only doing Warlocks for the month of September. I think in December we're working out details to start another fundraiser for an organization or charity event. And maybe we'll do paladins or hunters or something else, and just try to change it up a little bit. The main thing I need to do is make sure I don't overlap with any of the... Whoop, there we go, level 38. Overlap with any of the challenges from the actual WoW Challenges website, because sometimes they have month or 2 month long events where they'll say they'll do the Bloodthirsty challenge. So we'll try to be as courteous as possible and not overlap their challenges. So with that, let's go ahead and... Oh, we didn't do the Hearthstone. Save our Hearthstone. That's what we need to do. Bind it here. And with that, we could go ahead and clean out our bags a little bit. We're down to 38 empty slots, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but that'll give us a chance to repair our gear as well. Let's see. Set aside for the Ironman challenge. You want to set aside. Oops. Just about to talk about that. The BOE greens, BOE blues, but also what I've recently learned is you want to also set aside your meat and cloth. Cloth is always known, but meat's a new one to me. Sometimes that can sell really well, so do set that aside if you can. That's soulbound. That is bind on equip, and that's soulbound as well. And someone mentioned an interesting point the other day is just be careful when you're not on a vendor mount like this. If you're talking to a vendor and he walks away, that can accidentally cause you to click on an item and equip it, especially if it's soulbound. You don't get an opportunity to confirm whether or not you want to. So I just generally try to sell on the mount only, which kind of negates the whole problem entirely. So with that, we're off. And then Shadowstorm says the challenges are only 2 weeks. Next one is next month, I believe. Okay. So I'll talk to them and see if they have anything lined up for December. If they do, maybe we'll do something in November instead. But I definitely don't want to degrade their challenges, as they've been doing us a lot longer than we have. I've been here all of a little over 2 months, so I don't want to by any means overrun what they've accomplished, especially if we're kind of doing the same thing. There's really no point in, if anything, I'll try to do some of their challenges as long as it's Ironman based. I don't want to get into any of the Bloodthirsty challenge because I'm kind of doing that on my own, and I'll put up condensed versions of that video, but it's really hard to watch someone sit there and grind mobs for hours on end. So we'll just find another way to participate as much as possible. Plus, we still have quite a bit of content to do. We still need to get a hunter to 110, a melee class to 110, and then a horde to 110. So I think we have enough content to last us the rest of the year pretty easily. Hopefully not too much longer than that. But we are going to keep the mornings Ironman bound as much as possible, just so that they kind of keep a routine of things, and maybe in the afternoon we'll start doing mythic pluses and whatever else anyone wants to do. Just more viewer-based interaction. So that's the plan anyway. It might not kick off until October, but that is the plan for now. Andrea says, hey, which character is this? Been away for a while. I've been a Worgen Warlock, and I know. Oh, you've been so far a Worgen. This is actually the third one, so you're just in time to see the third one. And we've had 500 attempts, and we've had 3 Warlock attempts, so it's not too bad. But I really didn't care for the gnome all too much. I thought that it would be a lot better in the sense that, you know, we'd be able to kill stuff quicker and run around. But I think the humans, if I get in a situation where I'm stunned, with the human I can get out of it. There's not too much I can do to get out of a fear, but at least with a stun I can get out of that and run. So that's kind of nice. Pitbull says, maybe I'll take part in a druid or a priest challenge if I can, since I'm on a EU server. Oh yeah, that's a good point, Pitbull. So for the warlock race, or you know, maybe in the future another class race, it doesn't matter if you're on Oceanic, if you're on North American server, really, not server, region. It doesn't matter which region you're on. It's pretty universal in that sense. I don't think it supports Asian servers just yet, because the WoW Challenges website pulls off the armory, so that just kind of excludes those, unfortunately, for now. I'm sure it's coming. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and mount up here and run back across. Turn this quest in. Let's see. Andrea says, perfect, don't die this time. We're going to try not to. We've knocked out a lot of the bugs in the leveling process, especially with the hunter. We know a lot, kind of aware of a lot of the normal dangers. The unexpected dangers right now are coming from one mechanic from a looks like I have a little bit of a red output as far as the stream goes, so it's only on YouTube side at this point. So if you guys are getting any sort of buffering, let me know. But yeah, it's as far as the difference between a warlock and a hunter, it's just the how quickly the damage is applied to the mob. So that's the biggest challenge we've had so far. Is I see a lot more fight mechanics because it takes a little bit longer to kill them. And let's go this direction. So that's been the biggest challenge between the warlock and the hunter at this point in time. But I think we've worked out most of the bugs. The latest one being level 42, that rare. But for the most part, I think we're good to go. I hope. Let's see. Ryan says, my internet died, so if you showed the settings, I didn't see almost my stream is buffering so much. Yeah, it looks like YouTube is buffering once again. Yeah, I don't know. I have all green lights on my side, and then now it's YouTube. I did get a red bar from YouTube a second ago, so that's a little disappointing. Hopefully they can fix this sooner than later. Someone was saying the other day that a lot of streamers in my bracket of subscriptions are having an issue. So hopefully we can work through this and it not become a big deal. We did go from 40 people watching to 10, and that was right after the red line I got. So hopefully they work this out sooner than later. But just so we're all on the same page, let me type this out in chat, because I know sometimes if it's buffering, you're not going to hear what I'm saying, so it doesn't do me a whole lot of good to tell people how to fix the problem verbally. So to YouTube may be bugging out. If lagging or buffering, consider refreshing the page. That's unfortunate. Ryan says, can you show the HUD settings so I can get my HUD like yours? Let's see. Are you talking about, which one are you talking about, Ryan? As far as the HUD, let me see. I can do sexy maps, but as far as Z Pro and the other one, it's just as you see them right now. That's kind of how they're set up. But yeah, that's no problem. Let me do that real quick. So sexy map, and while we're getting the stream back, we'll put this up. But so I have mine scaled to almost 1.7, and then the details of it is for borders is a square, and that's going to be for the edge as well. The buttons, most of mine are on only show on hover, just so it looks a little bit cleaner, but that's generally it. As far as the Z Pro and the bartender add-ons, those don't really have too many internal settings as much as it has just, you know, physically putting them in the right location. Ryan says the bars and stuff. And Justin, welcome to the stream, by the way, or welcome back. Good morning. I think that's the first time I've seen your name this morning. Alright, so we'll blow this guy up. But yeah, Ryan, I think that's the settings is pretty much as they sit right here. There's not too much internally. Let's go ahead and grab this real quick. Oh, that was aggressive. I didn't realize that. So the lighter guys are more aggressive, and the dark ones are not as much. Duly noted. So with that, let's go ahead and pick up the stone tiers. And I think we have to kill 4 more giants. And Paratine says, is the Discord down this morning? Do you know, Q? No, it's up and working. I haven't had any issues with Discord this morning. Honestly, I think the streaming issue is coming from YouTube side, and I'm not entirely sure why. I haven't had any lag within game. My latency is pretty decent, so that's unfortunate that it's like this. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and blow this guy up as well. So we'll work through it. I guess we just have to slowly work our way to being a channel that's larger than where we are right now. It makes it a little bit tougher because a lot of times when your stream buffers like that, it's generally assumed that it's on the streamer side. But someone was telling me the other day that a lot of channels at my size are having an issue with it, and I think it's stemming from YouTube. So once again, I do apologize if the quality is low and there's a lot of buffering. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and grab the stone tier here. Justin says, I'm usually quiet, but I just watch the stream every morning before taking the kids to school. Way better than watching the news. Well, thank you, Justin. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's pretty neat. I do try to make it as inviting for adults as much as possible. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and... there he is. So we do not... alright, there we go. We do have Chaos Bolt available. So we'll nuke him down with that. And then Sam should interrupt him here. And perfect. So he gives close to about 3k XP. We're going to get about 6k, so that's not bad. It's a little bit more than I expected, to be honest. I thought it was going to be down to maybe a quarter to a third of the XP, but evidently the rares at this point in time are given about half, so that's not too bad at all. So we'll run back. I guess we could hearth back. We don't really use our hearthstone all too much. But yeah, Josh, I appreciate that. Paradin says, strange, just me then, Discord is down and can't be reached. Yeah, no, I'm looking at it now and everything's up on my end. Now, are you using the link in the description, or are you just pulling it in from having it open? Because that is weird if that's the case. Alright, so with that, we have to go shut down this portal here and kill a larger dragon. Speaking of dragons, I think, and listening to Ian Hazzikostas' interview, I think they're going to try to work their way back into including a lot of dragon lore. He says in previous expansions, I think part of it being that because they didn't really expect Warcraft to take off as well as it did, and continue as well as it did, they've killed off a lot of the storylines within Warcraft prematurely, specifically the dragons. So I wouldn't be surprised if in going to other worlds we see a lot more dragons, and maybe even see them on the other side of Azeroth if we get another content to go to. So we'll drop a Chaos Bolt here. And go ahead and drain some health. There we go. Let's see. Paradin says, attempting to reach via the link in your description, however it may be just my VPN. Oh, are you using VPN? Sometimes those can be really buggy, and especially with the recent laws in the United States. I don't know where you're coming from, Paradin, but if it's an ISP in the United States, they've been given a lot of authority to gate content and record content, and I think they're trying to work their own way around the VPN. So it wouldn't surprise me if Discord's kind of falls within that group of information there. King Tim says, hey, what's up? What's going on, King Tim? Good morning. How are you doing? We are doing fairly well over here. Started at level 36.5, currently at 38.5. And we are pushing our... You know it's the Iron Man challenge when you start using fractions of a level. Like when you're 41 and a quarter, or you're 38.5, like I just mentioned. So with that, let's go ahead and slide through here. We might see that rare that we killed first thing this morning pop up. Our first thing coming into Fairless pop up. But I think the timer for that is generally around the 45-minute hour range. So sometimes it can be a little difficult to get 2 kills off that guy. And we might aggro this bird as we run by. Nope, we're good. But yeah, usually the demon's kind of patrolling around this area. And yeah, typically we only get 1 kill off of it. So with that, we'll keep on going. And Anorak says, good morning, Kuhn. Good morning, Anorak. How are you doing? Let's see. How would you feel about Void Old God expansion? You know, it wouldn't be so bad. I think if they can kind of stagger it as they've done, especially with the Legion. You know, one of the leading factors is why Legion is so intimidating is that it's been an ongoing threat all throughout Azeroth. You know, from back in vanilla until today, Legion's always been a threat. We haven't really learned much about the Void and the Void Lords and the Old Gods in that time. So I think if they can build up the threat that those entities are, it would be pretty good. I would hate for them to kind of go through and we blast through all the Void Lords and the Void content, and then turn around and be like, all right, well, what do we kill next? You know, you almost run out of dragons to slay. Excuse me. I think a good position for them is now that we're able to have expansions. Previously, we've had expansions just involving islands on Azeroth. But now we're starting to get to, you know, we have a whole nother world to go to. It wouldn't surprise me if future expansions take us to different worlds. And, you know, we just try to build interstellar allies to a certain extent. Because I don't think the whole of Azeroth is even enough to take on Void Lords or Void Gods or whatever you want to call them. We do want to make this our home. But you know, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. In my opinion, just purely my opinion, I think we still have quite a bit to explore on Azeroth. If you look at some of the maps, I think we have an opportunity that we haven't seen the other half of the globe, if that makes any sense. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and turn in this real quick. I think we're going to get 2 follow-up quests from this guy. Or 1, okay. We have 2 of you. Okay, yeah, so we'll grab that one over here. Now, with this one, there is a rare that pops up over there, and he typically has 2 spawn locations. And I'll point those out once we get over there. But for now, we're just going to avoid the massive giants here. And let's see, Paradin says, need to log off, unfortunately. Thanks for the great stream as usual, Q. Well, I appreciate that, Paradin. Thank you as well for being a part of it. You have a good rest of the afternoon. Let's see. King Tim says, I need to finish Arcus week 3 still. Week 3, we just finished that yesterday. We being me and the girlfriend. I think it was a little bit smaller as far as content goes as opposed to the previous 2 weeks, but it's still pretty good storyline. Still interesting to see how you know, what's happened in Valen's past, and I think we'll get our first major introduction into Void Lords without giving too much away, but it's very good. King says, going to other planets, just imagine the new races. Yeah, and I think that's a huge thing, is if they go that route, they just have really unlimited content and storylines they can take. Like I said, I think, you know, we need the whole of Azeroth to take on villains such as the Lich King, to take on you know, Deathwing and even Old Gods back in vanilla. So it would make sense that we would need multiple planets worth of heroes and races to take on Void Lords. It wouldn't be surprising if I saw an expansion in the coming years where we go to a completely different planet. So with that, and it also gives them a little bit of freedom to just do stuff that's completely, do stuff that being zones, content, gear that's completely kind of unrelated to Warcraft in the traditional sense, just because it's, quote unquote out of this world, so it doesn't necessarily need to mesh with the lore too much. Alright, so let's go ahead and work our way in this direction over here. Nikki says hello and Q. Good morning, Nikki. How are you doing? How's everything going your way? We're still having a little bit of issues with the stream. It looks like it's not as bad as yesterday. So if you still, if you're coming across any sort of significant lag or buffering, let me know once again. I'll do what I can to try to mitigate that. But if it's on YouTube side, it might be something we have to just kind of trudge through. So hopefully not. Hopefully it's something we can get through pretty easily here. But alright, so that's the main mob we need to knock out. But we'll get there. It's not a big deal. I think there's a lot of people who are interested in the Iron Man Challenge and as far as the content goes, so we'll get there. Especially considering we have nearly 50 people participating in the Warlock race. Which is exciting, so thank you guys for that, by the way. This has been a really exciting, actually. Alright, so with that, let's blow this guy up real quick. He says, just watching my favorite streamer. Well, thank you, Nikki. I appreciate that. Try to make this... I know at the end of the day, it's questing, and sometimes, it can be monotonous to watch someone quest. That's kind of why I don't want to do the Bloodthirsty Challenge, and also why maybe in the future we'll do the afternoon content. I think our rare spawn is not here today. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. The only other location is back here. Now also back here sometimes, there we go. I did forget previous times, but sometimes there's a runestone treasure chest that pops up. And this should give us the equivalent of a quest, as well as a blue. Alright, so that's a neck piece. That's not bad. That's kind of nice. Whoa. Alright. Watch out for that guy. The bad thing with Chaos Bolt is if you open up with it and there's a mob hitting you, your pet's not going to do anything up until it goes off. So as you can see, this mob did get us down to about 70% health, so I guess that's something to consider. Maybe if a mob notices us first, maybe the better tactic would be just to drop an instant spell. That way Sam can at least taunt it off of us. With that, we'll blow him up. And there we go. We just need 2 more of these guys, and we're off back to the mainland. But yep, nope. I appreciate that, Nick. I try as much as possible. With that, we'll go ahead and I think that's what, number... Oh wow, there's a 3rd location that spawns. I did not know that. Okay. So there we go. We're learning this together, I suppose. The entrance is all the way on the other side, of course. So the 3rd location it can spawn is here. Did not know that. And we'll go ahead and blow it up as well. And there we go, it's 3100 XP. And I think we need 1 more here. Now, if we just kind of get a gauge for afternoon content, I know you know, in the AMs, a lot of the guys that are watching in the AM, guys, girls, are watching in the AM, will be asleep during, say, the afternoon. But maybe for October is something. Would you guys prefer something community based, such as the grouping up and doing Mythic Pluses, PvP, or is it some sort of content you'd prefer to watch, such as, say, pet farming, mount farming, watching someone else PvP? Kind of get a gauge for what our community here is more apt to be a part of. I don't want to drop in and do something that only, say, 10% of people would enjoy. As much as possible, I do kind of want to keep that in the back of my mind, that, you know, maybe most of the guys that are playing the Iron Man Challenge are have a preference toward PvP content or PvE content. Let's see, we're gonna turn this in over here, and then we'll knock out everything along the shore. But yeah, if you guys have a preference for afternoon content, let me know, and I will definitely keep note of it and try to make it something that's a definite contribution to what afternoon content would be. There we go. If I can speak, that's what we'll do. Go ahead and turn that in. So we are now level 39. Not bad at all. Badger says, I'm not a PvPer, but I enjoy running dungeons and raids. Pet battling professions are my favorite aspects of the game. I'm a major mount farmer as well. Very nice. So it looks like we definitely have one for the more PvE side. And then Ryan says, I'm not playing well if my internet's going to keep dying. It's getting seriously annoying now. Yeah, Ryan, what's your download speed at the moment? Because that might be contributing to it. Jennifer says, would be fun to see what you can do concerning those items. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. I appreciate that. We are not going this way though. We're going north. The reason we're going north as opposed to directly to the west of us is just because I'll get on the right mount here. Just because we don't have to mount up as much and swim through the water. So that's kind of why we are going to stay with this as much as possible and stay up north. And we'll start with this guy. That'd be good. Alright, so at level 40, I need to remember to do a slash play. So if I forget, which I probably will, let me know. We'll do a slash plate at 40 just so we can have a gauge for future Iron Man attempts. Whether that's, you know, the Hunter in the future, or excuse me, or another Warlock perhaps. Alright, so with that, we are getting a decent amount of BOE drops, so that's kind of nice. Brian says, humans, it never does this much. I would know it's completely unheard of for my internet to die twice in a span of 10 minutes. That is kind of weird. Huh. That was a pretty hard crit too. 1124. Alright, so we have 2 of 10 cores. Magic says you should really try Eastern Kingdom doing the north route, wetlands lock, and there's no dangerous quest up until the plague lands. I might have to give that a shot, especially, you know, we might do Eastern Kingdoms might be a really good attempt to do on the Horde side. I do have it kind of mapped out on the Alliance side. We could give it a shot, but just to give it even more variety, we may do the Horde side on Eastern Kingdoms just to have that availability. I need to put the quest item on the toolbar, so we'll do that. But yeah, Magic, by all means, we definitely have plenty of content to last us the rest of the year, so that part's exciting at least. We do have a lot of Iron Man Challenge, plus when we start working our way into the afternoon content, we'll do that as well. King says, so Cataclysm really messed up 1,000 needles. Is it still possible to quest there? It is. Actually, that's where we died last time, just because there are still some bugs to a certain extent, but there's pretty much a whole new set of quests there. And let's go ahead and knock this guy out. All right. But yes, to answer your question, King, there is questing there. It's actually not too bad. There's a lot of rares there as well, but a lot of rares that a lot of bugginess to a certain extent, especially when you get on the boat. And the harder series of the quest is when we have to do the 3 or 4 bosses on top of the spires. It'll make more sense once we're over there, but it is semi-dangerous leveling, but it's something we kind of have to do. Oops, let's go ahead and nuke that guy. So there's not too much getting around it. As long as you have that previous knowledge, I think that's the biggest contribution to the success of an Iron Man challenge. It says it's really fast too. It is 1,000 Needles is really fast. I think you were talking about the Eastern Kingdom, which is also true because Keithy and Nell, and I want to say only, have leveled through Eastern Kingdoms, and it seems to be a lot faster for those guys. Alright, so let's go ahead and nuke this guy before he kills Sam. And we'll summon Sam back. Alright. And let's go ahead and nuke this guy as well. And then let's see. Yeah, as far as Eastern Kingdoms though, just because, for the sake of the Warlock anyway, just because we have it mapped out so well on the Kalimdor side, we'll probably stay here for the time being. But like I said, when it comes to Horde content and maybe the Hunters, Hunter might be a good scout of sorts to try on the Eastern Kingdoms. Let's go ahead and blow this one up as well. And then Ryan says, I know a foolproof way to win the Iron Man Challenge. Buy a boost. Except for the fact that the WoW Challenges website will kind of pick up on that. Just because it does pull off the armory. And as soon as you make, I think as soon as you boost your character, it's given a full list of green items. So it kind of kills that in and of itself. Oops, oops, oops. Let's go ahead and minimize them here. I think that's the case. Yeah, you get nicer bags, which is nothing's wrong with having the higher quality bags, tabard or shirt. But I think the biggest thing is when you boost up, you do get either blues or greens. I can't remember which one it is. There we go. We have 5 of 10. This quest is a little bit lower drop rate than it was for us last time. Not the worst thing in the world though, by any means. There we go. It's still better than having to swim through the water, so that's kind of nice. Robert, welcome back to the stream. Good morning. It says green's pretty sure. Yeah, I thought so as well. With that, we'll go ahead and minimize this guy and then blow him up. So, like I said, I'm pretty new to the Warlock. You know, being 2 weeks into the Iron Man Challenge now. For Destruction Warlocks, is it primarily haste? Because it seems like you have a lot of cast time. And given that your Chaos spell crits by itself, I don't see crit being a big secondary stat. So is it pretty much a haste race for Warlocks? Robert says, thank you, buddy. How's the level been? We've been doing really well. Yesterday, I think you were here yesterday or the day before. We had that issue with the streaming, but we had one hiccup this morning. It hasn't been so bad outside of that hiccup though. The bad thing with the hiccup is that, one, it makes my channel look like it's offline sometimes, and then two, it takes whoever's watching it and kicks them off. So it's kind of unfortunate in that sense, but we are getting there, so we'll work through it. Not a problem. It's all part of the internet. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and get this, hopefully, last one here. But yeah, as far as leveling goes, leveling in and of itself, we're finally out of Desolace, so that's a good thing. We will be hitting 1,000 needles here pretty soon, so hopefully. I'm kind of nervous about the boats in 1,000 needles, to be honest. Generally speaking, what's going to happen is we have 3 boats we have to jump up on, and every time you do, you lose your pet. The pet doesn't go up with you. With the hunter, it's not the worst thing in the world, because to get your pet, it's an instant cast. Plus, as soon as you land, you can drop a frost trap and kind of mitigate the danger a little bit. As for a warlock, it puts us up there, and really the only thing we have is a fear, which you definitely don't want to use on a ship. There is enough chance where that fear could send the mob into, you know, whatever else is on the ship. The only other thing I can think of is even banishing wouldn't help. Excuse me. Even banishing wouldn't help due to the fact that none of these are demons, elementals, or whatever the other thing is. Demons, elementals, or aberrations. So, a little nervous about that portion of the quest. We're going to need to actually mount up on this thing and run. There we go. And with that, we're doing pretty well here. I'm kind of surprised with the way, let's move out the way here. But the way that Feralus is set up. So you have this massive alliance base here, but really you only have 2 quests. Maybe even if you consider it 1 quest, because 1 quest out of this place sends you over here, and then you get 2 quests. And then you have 2 quests outside of this location. But then this little outpost has like, I don't know, close to 10. So it's kind of odd how they did that, but all the same, it still levels pretty quick, especially once we've gotten past this point. And we are about, oh, we'll see here in a second. I was going to say 15%, but we're turning in 2 quests, which is going to push us to about 30% into 39, so not bad at all. I think we hit 40 last time we were in this area. So with that, let's go ahead and turn this in. But yeah, as far as the Warlock stats go, I think I might switch the current Warlock I have to Destruction just for in-game play and see how that is. I think Afflictions tends to be the go-to spec when it goes to in-game rating. It seems to have the most AoE power, as well as single target is pretty good from what I understand as well. So I don't know how comparable it is to Destruction, but I've always heard good things about Affliction. It's kind of why I was wanting to play it last time, but it was just pretty difficult to be competitive on a time-based scale. So with that, let's go ahead and turn this in here. King 10 says, hi ho, the farming I should go. Very nice, King. What are you farming? I need to pick up my gold farming once again. I haven't really touched it in the past 2 months, really since I started streaming. But with the release of the new pet to support Hurricane Irma supports, and as well as the new ticket and the mount that you can get from it, I've had to buy a couple WoW tokens, so I need to get my farming back up to par. By the way, for those that may not know, we need the heirloom, or the horn here. For those that may not know, there is a new pet and a new mount within Warcraft. The pet you can get from the store. The mount kind of comes with purchasing a ticket to the BlizzCon thing. a virtual ticket, by the way, not an actual ticket. I think the actual tickets have come and gone as far as availability, but we need one more wisp here. Did I miss it? Usually there's one floating around in the camp, but let's see. Maybe it's in this direction. Usually there's two over here floating by the lake, and then there's one within the camp itself, but let's see. That's interesting. There we go. I see it. Taking the scenic route. Alright, so that's done. We'll turn that in real quick. And use the whistle for 10 rally. Okay. So we need another horn to throw in the bar. The good thing about this zone is that there's a decent amount of rares. Sometimes the area that you can find the rare in is very wide, so it's not worthwhile to sit there and hunt those guys down. But other times, you know, you accidentally come across them fairly quickly. We'll avoid the bear as much as possible and work our way toward this direction. I think there is a rare bear out here. And it's a little bit darker than the rest, but I can't remember where it's at. Oh, well, that worked out. Alright, so we'll Chaos Bolt first. And blow him up. There we go. Robert says, it's probably that the Affliction is easier to master rotation and keep a 98 to 99% DPS uptime. That's probably a really good point, to be honest. My 110 lock is Affliction, and I love the simplicity and power. Now it's making me want to try. Right, did that work? Yeah. For this quest, the biggest thing you want to watch out for is that the poachers, whenever they trap you, sometimes they trap you, sometimes they don't. Maybe a 50% chance. Yeah, there we go. They hit like trucks, and so you just want to blow them up as quickly as possible. There we go. So well, there's another rare that's a Hippogriff as well, but I think he's further south, so we'll just grab this one real quick. But yeah, Robert, that's kind of why I played the Affliction for the last spec, or the last Warlock. Alright, so we're good there. Just so I could have that skill set for when I got to 110, but now this time around I kind of prioritized the speed of leveling, so that's kind of why we went with, oops, let's start him up, that way Sam gets on him. That's why I went with Destruction, so I still might go Affliction on my 110 Warlock. Alright, there we go. So we'll blow that guy up. And it looks like we're not going to get Chaos Bolt first thing. So we'll give it to him second thing. Perfect. So that's BOE number 2. And we'll blow the horn here. And how many more of these things do we need? 5 more. Okay. King Tim says, "Yep, gold farming. I have some new mining, but still money in the old Legion mats." Yeah. So what's kind of the price of the new ore and herb on your server? For me, I haven't even taken the first chance to look at it. I've been using a lot of my herbs to level my alchemy, so I need to start selling it as well. I think I have a stack of Astral Glory. I think that's what the new herb is called. So let's go ahead and give this guy a war cry. And we're back in business with these. I'm going to get up to full health. Something's hitting hard. Oh, sometimes the hunters, despite being tanked by a pet, they'll hit you as well. So that's the other dangerous side of them. I would recommend not doing this quest at low health. These guys hit hard, and then even if their pet's tanking them, they can still shoot at you. So that, we're good here. And Robert says, I agree with your choice for this kind of leveling. Affliction could take too long and risk your lives and Sam's while working for the DOTs while waiting for the dots to tick. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. And this is really close to almost a mage leveling, to be honest. If I could only remember to use my Chaos Bolt more frequently, it wouldn't be so bad. I think we would save a lot more time if I did use that. Alright. And we might get one more poacher. Nope, we're good. Okay. Now with that, we head over to the ogres. Then Austin says, Cute, have you done the alchemy quest to get the new stone? I have, actually. The new stones being the latest trinket, right? I think mine proc to like 900. So it's kind of lucky for that. I'm not going to use it, but I'll throw it in bags just to be an alchemist, I guess. So blow that guy up. Start working on this one immediately. And I think what I'll do is once we hit 40, I don't want to change specs right off the rip. So we'll probably change specs going into the next stream. That way we kind of keep a little bit of momentum here. We did lose a decent amount of time with Andeslis and leveling there. Did I loot those guys? I did, okay. But we will be giving, that's unfortunate. We will be giving Demonology a shot though. I'm kind of anxious to see if the Felguard's gonna do as much damage as he's promised. Alright, so with that, go ahead and pop this guy up. The girlfriend secretly waves to me from off camera here. Alright, so with that, we'll go ahead and blow this guy up. And Robert says choice. Yes, like and Walkman says, hey Q, almost 40. Oh, I'm almost 40. Yes, almost 40. I thought you said you're almost 40. I was like, man, that's fast leveling. But yes, we are almost 40. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. We are about halfway there for those who are just joining us for the first time this morning. Alright, with that, that's knocked out. And we'll take him out as well. So I think we're picking up a little bit of speed. I don't think we're going to beat Only's time. Only had a, for those that don't know, Only had a timer of 25 hours for the 1 to 60 time. That's pretty outstanding. And what do we need here? We need, how many more? We need 7 more of, oops. Let's go ahead and drain, so there we go. Need 7 more of the ogres here. And off we go. Asha says, yes, it's the new stone. I use the stone as a main item, which takes a stone you're wearing when you craft it. So I lost my higher item level one. Do you not like the trinket, I guess? The trinket's not bad, but I have 2 910 trinkets. And like I said, maybe, did mine, I'm trying to think now if mine propped to 900. It might have been 890. There's a 9 in it somewhere. But, yeah, I didn't really, it wasn't better than what I had. I kind of enjoyed the automatic applications of the trinket, or automatic procs of the trinket. There we go. That I have. So, yeah, I didn't equip it. I threw it on my bags just because, you know, as an alchemist you need the stone. But no, I didn't actually equip it. I'm gonna have to go back and look at it and read it. I didn't give 2 thoughts about it when I put it in my bag. The DK is kind of different in that sense. There is a priority list as far as what's the best trinket, but generally speaking for DKs, they're one of the fortunate classes that you almost go solely by item level. You don't really, the secondary stats don't really contribute to the efficiency of your spec as much as it does on other classes. Whoops. Alright, so with that, blow this guy up. Especially for my level of usage, I am by no means a mythic raider, so I am getting upwards. I've been able to get to. Oops, Eric says, I would like to see you do the pacifist challenge, but just kidding. Yeah, like I said, that one, in my opinion, I think that one would be harder. You can't even kill a critter, to be honest. I also think it would be extremely slow. That would be a rough way to level. There's been one person who's done it. I don't think you can have any sort of... I forget what the rules are for the pacifist. But we just need one more guy here, so we'll knock him out. Perfect. Alright, with that, he can keep his loot. We're going to head back and turn in all these quests real quick. Maybe. May actually just... Since we're right here, we'll do this quest. I don't think we did it this way last time. If I can remember how to get up there. I think what we did was we turned in these quests and then we went in this direction, so let's see. We'll try it. We'll experiment. That way at the when we level another class, we'll kind of know which path is most efficient. So we'll keep going in this direction. And then, but yeah, Anorak. So for those who are new to Warcraft challenges in general, you have the Iron Man challenge, you have the Bloodthirsty challenge, and then you have the Pacifist challenge. And the Pacifist one is pretty much kill absolutely nothing. I can't remember what all the details involved with it, but Bloodthirsty is kill everything. Iron Man's kind of just get to level 110 without dying. It's more or less survive. And then Pacifist is kill nothing. So, and I think there's been only one person who's done either the Bloodthirsty or the Pacifist challenge. So there's that to consider. Go ahead and blow up this guy. We're still at a level where the Chaos Bolt doesn't one-shot mobs, but it will, in combination with Conflagrate. Yeah, Conflagrate. Conflagrate. I think that's how you say it. Conflagrate, right? It will kill him. So we get 2 from this one. So that's not bad. And let's see. Let's go in this direction. For this quest, we just have to kill 6 of these guys and then pick up these 6 little pieces of glowing soil. I think there's a relic in it or something, but it is the 2 o'clock hour, so let me go ahead and put this up real quick while we're draining his life. We are doing the Warlock race for September. Actually, before I get into it, and I started my whole way, let me focus exactly what I need to do here. There we go. Alright, so the rules are on your right. The Iron Man challengers are on your left for this month. For those who are new to the channel, it is a Warlock race for all throughout September. Whether you stream or don't stream, you're more than welcome to join at any time. There's not a benefit really in starting sooner or later. All of us that have started on the 1st have died at least once, if not twice. I think Only is the only person who hasn't died twice. But yeah, it's just a lighthearted event. There's 2 legs of the race. There's 3 prizes that Keithy hands out. The first leg of the race is to see who has the lowest play time from 1 to 60, and then the second leg is to see who has the highest living, highest living character at the end of the month. So, with those 2 rules, it kind of makes it easier to join at any time during the month. Like I said, we have 45 here. And another 5 probably that, not probably, but haven't started due to work or school or studying or something like that. So, like I said, there's no real disadvantage in starting later. I would say that's probably going to hold up true up until maybe the last week or so of the race. But as of now, there's no disadvantage in starting. And as an open invitation to anyone, I will take that down because it is starting to take up the entire screen. But yeah, with over over or right at 50 people at the moment. It's gaining a lot of ground, so thank you guys for being a part of it and making this a fun event. I can't wait to do it again later this year. I think we're going to keep it very similar to what it is now, and maybe just try a different class, just to kind of give a little bit of variety to it. But the whole thing is to bring awareness to Friends for Impact. Wow, this guy's taking a long time to die. Yeah, Friends for Impact, who do research on brain tumors that occur in children. So that's just to bring them a little bit of awareness as well as a little bit of funds. And I do want to mention that they did meet their goal of 5,000 pounds. So we did push them over the top there. So thank you guys for that. I myself, as well as Keithy, are very appreciative of you guys being able to help them out. So thank you. So with that, we're going to see, we need one more soul essence and a lot more glowing dirt. I think 3 more. So we don't need to kill these guys anymore except to get them out of our way. And we'll blow him up. And there we go. So we have one pile there and another one here. I think that should be it. I don't think these have a an RNG factor to them. Alright, perfect. So we'll see if we can slip by him without aggroing. Nope, we tried. And with that, blow him up, get the cloth as well. And make our way across here. So I think this is going to put us pretty close to level 40. I don't think we'll make it there, but it would get us, definitely get us close to 40. Alright, so with that, we'll summon the demon. The disadvantage for this quest are the warlock class as opposed to hunter is a lot of times when you summon a pet like this, or summon a demon, summon a mob that you fight, they tend to spawn right up on top of you, which kills your advantage as far as having that 40-yard range to be able to cast your long spells and whatnot. So you definitely want to be careful when it comes to these types of quests. Like I said, if you're considering doing an Iron Man challenge, there is a spreadsheet out there that I think is linked in Discord that kind of highlights all the dangerous quests for each. Oops, let's go ahead and get Sam on them. Highlights the dangerous quests for each of the zones, so there is that tool out there. We are down to about 83%, so we'll get it back up to full health, just so that we don't have to risk dying out here. Alright, so we'll turn that in real quick. But yeah, Fearless is pretty quick leveling, and to be honest, Thousand Needles is as well. It's just watching out for all the glitching pets as well as glitching mobs. So Thousand Needles does have its own separate category of dangers. I'll stay away from that. And I don't think the little outpost had a Hearthstone, so we might have to run it back. Alright, so with that, turn this in, accept it, and I think that's going to have us go all the way back, so that works. Almost 40. All of about maybe 1% away. So I'm going to try to avoid these guys just so we can... Oh, I said that and then I pulled it. And there we go. That did get us down to 86%. Let's see if we can squeeze through here real quick. Alright. And with that, we are back in business. I think we can use a glider at this point. That's the other huge advantage in having a glider. It's just to be able to go from one location to another very quickly. It helps more so in Azeroth than any other location, just because you can't fly here at your lower levels, but generally speaking, it's just good to have a stockpile of those while you're questing. Especially here recently, we've lost 2 challengers, I think, in the past week due to disconnecting during the fight, and then when they logged back on, the mount that they were flying on despawn. So that is level 40, guys. Looks like we have our Havoc spell. That's interesting. Let me set that somewhere. So playtime for level 40 is 14 hours and 38 minutes. That's not too bad, I don't think. 14 hours and 38 minutes. It's not bad at all. So to kind of give that any sort of perspective as far as how fast Only as well as Nail have leveled up to 60, I think they're looking about from 25 to 29 hours. So try to keep as competitive as possible, I suppose. And with that, turn that in. That's done. And I think we need to raise more guys here. Try to start a small army. Alright, so for the Havoc spell, marks target with Havoc for 10 seconds, causing your single target spells to also strike the Havoc victim. Limit 1. That's interesting. I have no idea what that means. Alright, let's go try it out then. Like I said, this is the first time I've played a Warlock. And since Burning Crusade, so I'm kind of curious how this is going to work. Alright, so with Havoc, is it instant? It does aggro him. Oh, I don't have a pet. Whoops. That's kind of weird. Yeah, I have to read more up on that. I have no idea how that is supposed to be used there. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and rally these guys. And get ready for the poachers. There we go. And he's already got us down to 67%. Kind of curious how Havoc's supposed to be used here. Like I said, I'll look it up later. Don't want to spend too much time working that out. But I didn't see the Felguard, which is the other interesting thing. I thought we got the Felguard at 40. We might be off. Let's see. Oh no. We get the Doomguard at 50. Unless I missed it. Did I? Let's see. Yep, nope, I only have 4 pets. Oh, you know what? It's probably only to the... It's only associated to the Demonology spec. Alright, that's probably why. Alright, so with that, go ahead and give this guy a horn. And see if we can find some others. If I had to take a bet, we're going to get a Horde Poacher on this one, so we'll be ready for him. We have that wolf close by too. Alright. Watch out for the bear. And we'll get this last one. I'm going to light this guy up just so that he doesn't become a problem. He is pretty close. There we go. There we go. And there's our Horde guy. Let's see. Hale says, "Hey Kuhn, good morning, Hale. How you doing?" Hale. That's an awesome name. Oops. Let's go ahead and get some health off him. Let's sit down and eat real quick. Say, Kuhn, you put a Havoc on another mob so you can hit 2 mobs with your spells. Oh, okay. I got you. Thank you, Hale. I had no idea what I was going to use that for. Yeah, so we probably won't be using that all too much. Well, I'll keep it up there just in case. But generally speaking, we want to kill 1 mob at a time, but of course there's going to be instances where we can't do that. And I should have opened up with a instant spell, just because the entire time we're casting Chaos Bolt, it doesn't Sam doesn't do anything. He just kind of sits there and watch us cast it. So we'll squeeze through here. And Austin says, I don't think Havoc Spell is a spell that you'll find useful in the Iron Man Challenge game. I don't think so as well, Austin. That's what I think that's what I'm getting as well. But I appreciate that, Robert. I had no idea. It says, for this Havoc you can use if you or Sam pull too many ads. Okay. Yeah, we'll set it aside down here. I don't want to actually accidentally click on it. Sometimes in an effort to click on my 5 button, I'll hit 6, and I'd rather not instantly cast something. Alright, so with that, we'll start heading north here. I think I'd like the idea of us going to this location first, just because it keeps us all in the same area for the most part. So I might continue that with the next several ones. But Robert and Austin, thank you very much for that. It's about to be amateur hour if I use that too often. So we need to rally, not those guys. No, we don't need to rally anything. We just need to kill these guys, actually. We do want to shrink one of these. So we'll do that with him. So we're just slowly draining a spell, just because we need to get his health down low before we can actually use the item. I guess we have to get it down really low, or maybe it's the mage then. Okay. Do need to watch out for that guy. He's probably going to get pulled by Sam, but we'll hang with it for now. Oh, that was close. Alright, so with that, go ahead and blow up this dog. Since he's patrolling in the area, you definitely want to kind of kill the mobs that are patrolling first. Moody says, morning Kieran. Good morning, Moody. How you doing? Welcome back to the stream. We've just hit level 40. About halfway through it at the moment, which isn't too bad. It's definitely a different pace from, say, yesterday when we were struggling through Deathless as well as through a buggy stream. It looks like we had one bug earlier this morning, but for the most part, we're doing fairly well. So with that, we're going to see if we can blow up this guy real quick. And there we go. That Chaos Bolt is still a lot of fun. Almost overpowering, but still a lot of fun. I think between the two soul shard and 3-second cast, it's kind of balanced out, but definitely a lot of fun. Alright, so with that, we'll light this guy up from over here. And he says, "Yep, I was extremely drunk yesterday." Okay. I was wondering what was going on to a certain extent. Welcome back. What time did you end up falling asleep, or do you even have the memory to know that? All right, so with that, we have those two guys, 4 of 6 as well as 2 of 6. So we'll blow this one up as well. Alright, and we're off once again. We have gotten lucky in the sense that we've had a couple items sell on the auction house, and I'm right about 2,400 gold, so that's not too bad. Pretty happy with that for the most part. When he says, oh, I think it was around 9 p.m. Well, you went to bed at least a decent time, but working off a hangover at the moment, or still feeling the after effects. So we have that item. I don't think we received that item last time we were out here. Alright, so with that, we need to turn in the quest over here. So at this point, we have to go into the Yeti cave. So we'll make our way in that direction here shortly. So he saw us just in time. We have 6 of those guys. We need 2 more of these over here, the enforcers. Alright, that works out. And blow him up as well, just so we can get that last enforcer. Moody says, I feel fine, got some food and water in me. Made me feel better. Well, glad you're feeling better. I know, I think coffee actually helps most people from what I remember. You said aspirin? So coffee and or aspirin. Alright, so with that, we are going to head back in this direction. Also turn in the quest here. For this quest though, eventually it's going to have us, or ask us to go to Stranglethorn Vale to turn in this quest. There's a decent amount of XP associated with going over there, but the time trade-off just isn't there as well. So we will probably accept it just so we have it, but we probably won't go over to Stranglethorn, just so we can stay out of that area and stay away from Eastern Kingdoms in general for us anyway. So let's see if we can dodge the wolf here. There we go. As well as the bear. Nope. Oh, wow, the bear jumps. I did not know that. Breaking my rule here. Still going to outrun the bear. Just because this is a race, so it's going to make it a little bit more interesting. Jordan says Queen is the best hangovers, hands down. Very nice. Let's see. With that, go ahead and turn these 2 quests in real quick. Whoops. Alright, so with that, we'll turn that in as well, and we're back down on the ground. Alright, disrupt the Twilight Sermon. So this is the fun quest where we have to go back over there, but before we do that, grinding these mobs as well as turning in the quest make it us close to 41, so just kind of work our way through here. Use the elevation to our advantage. And Fire Smell says, greetings from Outland EU, nice stream. Thank you, Fire. Welcome to the stream, by the way. I think that's the first time I've seen your name, so welcome. How's everything going on the EU side? Sweet says, weed is for teenagers and junkies. Alright. I guess everybody's entitled to their opinion. I don't really mess with much myself, so I can't really attest to it, but we'll leave that as an opinion, I suppose. Welcome to the stream, Mr. Fire. Yep, welcome. And let's see. Imperial says, is this still the same character, or did you die since the weekend? Let's see. When did we start this character? I think this is the same one. I think we died last week to the rare spawn, so if that's what you had heard, I think, well, technically we died to the bear spawns both times, just different ones. But the bugged out one we died to the last time. So, but yeah, I think I've had this character for a week now. What's slowed us down a good bit was being down for Hurricane Irma, and then also we had a little bit of technical issues yesterday with the stream and YouTube and everything associated with that. So it's taking us a little bit longer than we want to, but the actual play time's still not too bad. We're right about, what do we want to say, 14 and a half hours to get to level 40. Not the fastest, but not the worst, so I'm happy with that. So we'll go ahead and blast through here. And I think there's one guy right there. The crits are actually starting to hit really hard. Crits outside of the Chaos Bolt, should I say. So the other downside is we're going to have to escort this guy back out, which isn't too big of a deal. We do have a pet. We'll just resummon Sam real quick. The faster we kill these, the better, naturally, just because probably going to have a pretty peaceful escort here. So I'll turn that in and accept that, and off he goes. And we might have two. I think we have two spawn at the end of the escort here, but they're not too bad. We may have three now I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna summon Sam real quick. So we're going to blow this guy up. I think he's going this way, yeah. See if we can blow this guy up before the chicken makes it to him. Alright, perfect. And Wheat says, hey, good morning. Good morning, Wheats. Welcome back. How are you doing? We are doing fairly well. In the middle of an escort at the moment, so if I get behind, I'll catch back up. But yeah, we're not doing too bad. I'm going to let him get ahead. This is kind of a change to my normal pace because for the most part, you want to work ahead. But I think there's 2 or 3 that spawn. And the thing is as a hunter, I could easily handle it. You know, with disengage, slow, and ice, trap, and everything like that. But as a warlock, I'm definitely going to have one probably hit me. If there's 3. I can't remember if there's 2 or 3. So with that, we'll go ahead and blow up this guy. And then we'll knock out that one. Yeah, 2's not bad, but 3 is definitely, you're starting to get into rough territory with the Ironman challenge. Did get him down to about 70%, but once the fight's over, he resets anyway. And we're good to go. Like I said, I think this portion, oh, it is this portion that we have to turn into, where is it at? Stranglethorn. Maybe that wasn't the best use of time. Oh well. With that, we'll go ahead and head back over there and see what Chol goes up. See if it's any different from what the last time we interrupted his spell. Emporio says, not bad, it took me about the same time with my first character without the challenge. I just didn't know what to do or where to go. Yeah, and like I said, Emporio, I think people's times are going to get better and better as they go throughout the challenge, so I definitely expect to see a lot of lower numbers as we get toward the end of the month and people are starting to work their way through the issues that they've been having. Nail is probably going to have an insanely low play time. I'm not going to be surprised at all at that. Only he's made it to 60 twice and he's been able to cut 4 hours off his first time, so yeah, it's just knowing the path that you're leveling. So with that, Smink says, how long have you been streaming today? I thought you were here when I went to work. We've been streaming close to about 2.5 hours now. So normally that's our normal time. We stream from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard. Then some days we do an extended stream, and maybe it's then that when you saw me. But normally it's the base streaming time is 3 hours from 6 to 9. So with that, we'll go ahead and light this guy up real quick, just so they don't gang up on us. And I want to say this one's fairly straightforward. Last time we ran around a little too much in here trying to find the entrance, but it's right at the crossroads here. Alright, so I think I just killed some mobs with a quest buff. Is there a way to find out if I red flagged myself? If it's, let me say it this way. Robert, did the quest buff, is it removable or is it something that's, you know, part of a quest line you have to have? If so, I don't think there's a big issue. Generally speaking, you just want to minimize the usage of buffs, especially when it comes from an elixir. But elixir, potion, flask, there we go, and food. But I would think you're alright for the most part, Robert. It would kind of have to depend on the quest, but I would say there's a 90% chance you're just fine. Oh, draw 9 monk, nice. You did get the unicorn too, nice. But yeah, Robert, I think you're fine. Oops, let's go ahead and light this guy up. KMG says, time to roll for it. I'm kind of late already. Good luck when you're leveling. Well, thank you, KMG, and have a good rest of the day at work. Gabby, thank you for the subscription. Good morning. How are you doing? We've been leveling for the past 2.5 hours now, so made it all of closing in on 41. I think we're about 30% from 41. And Robert says it was removable. You should be all right, Robert. I wouldn't stress it too much. If you want, you can always log out for a minute and let the armory update. We want to go this way, I believe, and allow the armory to update, and then update the WoW Challenges website and see if it flags your character. Like I said, I think you should be all right. It's not it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Excuse me. I think we have that dog patrolling behind us. Here we go. And then let's see. William says, "Good morning, Kim. Good morning, William. Welcome back. How are you doing?" So I guess you made it through the storm. Couldn't catch you this week. 4 a.m. was pretty early for me. No, it's all good. Like I said, we don't start until 6 a.m. I usually, oh, it might be 4 a.m. for you actually. I'm thinking about it, because it is. I think if it's 6 a.m. for me on the Pacific Coast, it's as early as 3 a.m. So anywhere in between then, it's 4 and 5 for most. So, but yeah, no, that's no problem. Well, thank you for stopping by though. Today is probably going to stick around the 3.5 hour mark, just to kind of keep it consistent. We may do an extended stream later on, but for the time being, it is going to be a 3.5 hour stream, so not too bad. Try to get it. We did make our goal of getting to 40 today, so anything extra up to this point's icing on the cake. But yeah, Robert, let me know if how that works out for you. Because like I said, I think the easiest way would be to log out for a minute, allow the armory to update, and then update the WoW Challenges website. But I would say, like I said, 90% sure you're alright. Alright, so we're waiting for one of these guys to hop down, and we'll open up with a Chaos Bolt. Maybe we'll open up with Flag Rate, just because if we open up with Chaos Bolt and it sees us, Sam's not going to do anything the whole time we're casting. William says, "I'm doing good, thank you. Yeah, I'm in Boulder, Colorado, Mountain Time." Oh, okay, alright. Well, yeah, thank you for chiming in. And I can absolutely understand 4 a.m. being too early. But thank you for being part of the stream today. This that's somewhere where I've always wanted to go, is Colorado, just to kind of see the landscape. I've never actually been out and seen the mountains over there and whatnot, so I'm hoping one day I can afford the time and money to get out there and see the location. With that, let's go ahead and blow this up. And give Sam a shield here. Now, for the most part, this quest is pretty harmless. You know, just killing one at a time. When Cho'Gall lands, we just need to make sure we dodge the fire. The worst thing that could happen is I'd hate to get stunned in a fire. I don't. Oops. Okay, well, we get stunned. I forgot that happened. So he goes in, draws in a 10-minute cast here, and then I think we get rescued by the Night Elves in the area. But yeah, no, I definitely want to make it back out west, just to be able to see everything over there. Alright, so with that, we'll get out of here, and I'm going just to keep moving here as much as possible. So we have these sermons. We haven't gotten credit for disrupting the sermon just yet. Right now, priority is just pretty much funnel health and stay alive. Oops, let's stay close. There's been a couple instances where I've ran way over here and it reset the whole thing, so that's kind of why I'm staying close to him at the moment. And let's see. So I think we'll just use the Hearthstone and fly over to the quest location. Otherwise, we're going to spend 5 minutes running. That's the other thing. I think maybe my two biggest improvements for leveling destruction and utilizing speed is to use the Hearthstone more often, as well as open up with Chaos Bolt more often. Excuse me. We want to fly there. I want to say we've been in this area for, let me see. Yeah, it's probably been, excuse me, sorry guys. It's probably been over an hour since we killed the first rare, so the reason I bring that up is that we have to work our way in this direction. So we might take a scenic tour and just, you know what, we might not. That's a lot of meandering around. Excuse me. Alright, so with that, turn in that quest real quick. And yeah, everything else is this way. If we see the bear in this area, we'll see if we can go find the other one as well, but it's a black bear as opposed to these dark brown-ish colors. So let's see. We still need to make our way in. Whoops. Fantastic. Alright, so with that, kind of take a look around. I think we killed the black bear over there somewhere, but I just doubt these guys are going to be back up. And we're not rare farming. Where's AH when you need them? Let's see. Let's cut through these guys real quick. And yeah, I think we're good to go from here on out. Oops. Did I miss it? No, it's right there. Okay. So we're still doing pretty well. We're right at the 15 hour mark. So if we were really competing with only, that means we'd need 10 hours to get to level 60. So that's 10 hours for the harder 19 levels remaining getting into 60. So I don't know if we have quite the competitive edge to get to be able to beat that time, but it's all good. I think we'll let them have that and just see if we can survive the highest level at this point. Wine Salt says, Q, when did you start Warcraft? What's your favorite, most memorable moments? Let's see. I started a while back, about a year after Vanilla launched. So I did get to play Vanilla for about, I think, a year or two, or a year and a half before the Burning Crusade expansion came out. And let's see. So I've been able to see the game in the vanilla state and compare it to as it is today. And I know we brought this up a couple times, but I think it's a good game in both as it is now and as it was back then. It's just for different reasons. As it was back then, it was much more immersive. It took a lot more time to play, but it was a lot more immersive. A lot of your quality of life items aren't around, or weren't around back then. Alright, so it doesn't look like the bear's up. So, let's see, it kind of in comparison to the way Warcraft is these days, it's still good. It's just good for, say, knocking out a lot of content in a little bit amount of time. It does have a little bit of a not grindy aspect, but because Warcraft's always been grindy to a certain extent, whether it's killing 10,000 furbolgs for a rep, or if it's doing the same quest for a chance for gear to proc. It's still at the end of the day grindy to a certain extent. I actually kind of like that in the game. It just kind of provides a level of content to a certain extent. But as far as my most memorable moments, I think the one that comes to mind the most is just going back to vanilla, back in when I first got into the game, leveling from, I think I started out as a night elf hunter. And what do we need to kill here? The furbolgs, or the gnolls. Started up as a night elf hunter, night elf warrior, sorry, and didn't have any clue. Like, this was the game I played before Warcraft was Halo 2. Alright, so let's blow this guy up. So I had just no earthly idea of how the gameplay works itself out, or, you know, it was just extremely different from that first person shooter style of gameplay to, you know, the immersion and giving yourself talents and specs. And at that time, you know, you had, what was it, like 49? I think it's 49 talents. So, you know, it wasn't until one day I sat down and was reading about Warcraft and trying to understand what it was I was doing, because I was dying to everything back then. And that was the other thing about vanilla, is that everything killed you just about. And especially with a warrior, you had to execute, but man, that thing had like a 50% chance to hit. I know it did. It never said that, but there's been times where I would get a mob down to 20% and execute all the way up until I died. So I do remember that, but also, you know, when it finally kind of dawned on me that I was playing the character improperly, I was an arms warrior missing about 10 or 15 talent points, running around with a shield and a dagger. And you know, that just kind of stands out more than anything, going back then and looking at that. The other story I tend to tell quite a bit is how we've transitioned from the Horde side to the Alliance. Back when Warlords of Draenor was first coming out, me and the girlfriend, we took the whole week off from work. This was the first time we had done that. That's the first time I seen that trap too. It's the first time we had actually taken off time from work to actually play the game and see when the expansion was coming out, and I just enjoy it for the first day. We knew there was going to be bugs. It's, you know, it's a game launch. That's kind of comes with the part of the territory. But we were just kind of, oops, oh, hang on, sorry, getting stuck in traps here. There we go. We were just really excited to be a part and finally set aside time to be able to enjoy the content the first time around. And you know, that week comes, Tuesday drops, and we had actually downloaded it. This is the first time I had actually downloaded it just so we could play it as soon as it launched. And I don't know why I'm chaos bolting this guy right now, but then the servers go down, and I don't know how many of you guys were playing back in Warlords of Draenor or when it launched, but when the servers went down, it was an absolute mess. We were playing on Illidan at the time, and for those who don't know, Illidan is a massive horde realm. It's a PvP realm as well. I'm trying to grind my way over this way. And I mean, we were pretty set on it. We had a couple, I think 90s at the time, and you know, this was going to be pretty much the realm we stayed on. But that first day, I think Illidan was down for 12 or 14 hours. Then the next day it was down for almost 18 hours. And you know, at the same time, we had taken days off. You know, we'd spent vacation time to be a part of this. It got so bad, I think at the end of the month, Blizzard had refunded people, I think it was everyone, they had refunded 5 days of free gameplay. It was just that bad. And but in the meantime, with the servers being down, with Illidan always going down for half a day at a time, I think it came back up once for like 6 hours, but it was in the middle of the night, so it didn't do anyone really any good. We decided to level up on our Alliance side, and you know, by the time they got the servers under control on Illidan and everything else, we were already 110, had cleared out heroics, we're in all blues and purples. So ever since then, it's kind of how we've transitioned from, there we go, transitioned from Horde to Alliance. Now the downside of that story is that just because we had that experience, we didn't take any time off for the launch of Legion, and lo and behold, I think that was the most successful launch Blizzard had. So you know, you win some, you lose some. Alright, so that's 9. Did I loot this guy? I did, okay. But I'm sure I have a lot more, you know, stories. That's a really good question. Like, what else have I done that's been standout-ish in the past decade we've been playing? That's a good question. I'm gonna have to think of that. Alright, so let's go ahead and blow this guy up. And let's see. Windsor says, those bugs were horrible. Warlords Draenor was unplayable the first 2 or 3 weeks. It was. Like I said, and we had switched to Alliance, you know, at that time, and still, the server we switched to, it wasn't as bad as Illidan, but it was definitely unplayable. I think the server we switched to was down for maybe, what, 6 to 12 hours a day? And some of that, yeah, can't log in, and some of that was throughout the night. But yeah, it was just, unfortunately, it was really frustrating, and especially when you've tied real life value to it, like vacation time and stuff like that, it makes it even worse. But you win some, you lose some. Maybe we'll take some time off for the next expansion when it comes out, but we'll see. Oh yes, very nice name. Welcome to the stream, by the way. It says, I'm sure you have explained it 1,000 times, but can you explain about it? Now, oh yeah, is that in reference to the Iron Man challenge, or? Because if so, I don't mind doing that at all. I have a whole separate overlay just for that. So we haven't got caught by a Horde poacher yet, so that's kind of nice. Oh yes, yes. Never mind, I see them in the notes. Oh, I think you are referring to the well, I'll put it up. That's no big deal. Yep, there's the guy. So we'll go ahead and drain soul, and I will pull this up. So as of now, oh yeah, it's still funny to say your name. Oh yeah, the Iron Man rules are on your right, and the Warcraft challengers are on your left. The more detailed stuff is linked in the description. But in short, it's leveling from 1 to 110 without dying, only using the worst gear in the game, that being your white and gray quality items. It is a solo challenge. There we go. It is a solo challenge, so you can't do any sort of dungeons, battlegrounds. You can't even do any sort of pet battles. It's purely a level by questing or grinding type of challenge that you, again, do on your own. To kind of give you an idea of the difficulty level, there's been 20,000 attempts, over 20,000 attempts to do the Iron Man challenge, but there's only been 22 people who've made it to 110. Another kind of case in point, I'll pull that back down, by the way. Another case in point is that we're doing the Warlock challenge, which is all the names you saw on the left hand side. I would go up there to try to kill that rare, but it's pretty hard to come by. The Warcraft challengers, you saw 45 names listed. That's everyone who's participating throughout the month of September in the Warlock Iron Man race. Normally I would suggest your first character be a hunter, just because it's a little bit easier to play as far as the class mechanic and whatnot. But let's see, let's cut through here real quick. But it is, the Warlock Iron Man race is an open invitation to anyone. We're doing it just to promote a charity called Friends for Impact. who do research on brain tumors that occur in children. So whether you stream or you don't stream, it doesn't really matter. Whether you start today or I don't know, on the 20th, it doesn't matter as well. That's level 41. It's just an open invitation for a lighthearted challenge. It's a 2-part race where we go from, we see who has the fastest level time from 1 to 60, as well as, it's just more expensive, who has the highest level character standing at the end of the month. So that's kind of all that in a small nutshell there. Alright, so with that, we're heading this way. And let's see. William says, I remember how awesome it was to get the silver first clears and the Eye and Black Temple and the event Shathrath going all the way to yep. I remember the Timber Mall rep as well. If you got exalted, they would shout your name throughout all of Kalimdor, and I think it made its way to Eastern Kingdoms as well. But yeah, there was a decent, I guess, public notification of how much work you put into the Timber Mall rep, so that was pretty neat. Oh yeah, says, yep, I'm at the rules, you have to follow the level. And then Fabio says 41. Grants, thank you, sir. We did make it way past the goal. I was hoping we'd get to 40 today, and we've already 10% into 41, so that's not bad at all. Alright, so the Woolpaw Alpha. This one can be a dangerous quest. Just have to take it very carefully, one at a time as much as possible. I know a lot of people tend to skip it, but we haven't had too much of an issue with it. We're just going to grind our way into this thing real quick. Alright, there we go. And then let's see. Oh, I guess has anyone ever done it like with a rogue or warrior? Oh yeah, I think someone did it with a warrior about a week or two ago. I don't know if I've seen a rogue yet. There might be one. And we need to make it up there somehow. Okay. There might be one rogue. I know there's one warrior. So that's kind of, it is a tough challenge. Most of them have been hunters so far. Let's see, Robert says, I added my character to the side and corrected my character settings. I'll log off for a day and await my fate. Robert, you don't necessarily have to log off for a whole day. The update happens pretty quickly. I think you could probably have all the information you want within 20 minutes at the most. So you don't have to wait a whole day for that. And also, Robert, do we have your character's name as far as the name and realm? If we don't, you can give it to me and I'll write it down and put it in Discord as well as keep track of it. But I can't remember if that was, I did write one down the other day. Nope, that was Walkman. And we'll grab this guy as well. Drop a Chaos Bolt on him. Yes, we play WoW for research like that. That's great. Yep, like I said, it's just pretty much me and about 50 other people so far, just playing the game, trying to make a difference for, or help out, should I say, for people that are actually making a difference. So it's been a very fun challenge so far. We have a small little community here on Discord, and like I said, it's an open invitation to anyone who wants to participate. Alright, so with that, let's light this guy up. Try to kill him instantly. That way we can deal with that one. There we go. It says, man, doing it with a melee class will be super hard. You know, that's, once I make it to 110 with the hunter, the reason we're not doing hunter is just because of the challenge. Oh, we did make it all 5. Perfect. Alright, so with that, we're going to jump off here and see if we can glide all the way down. So we did get in combat with that. So I'm going to just make sure I land somewhere semi-safe. Alright, and we'll summon Sam back. Perfect. It's almost like I planned that. Yeah. Let's see. Yes, as man, doing it would be super hard. Yeah, it would be. Like I was saying, if I once I get the hundreds of 110, I am going to do a melee class. I might end up doing a horde melee rather than another alliance melee, just for the variation, but we'll see. Alright, so with that, we don't need to kill those guys. We do need to rally these, so let me put that on the toolbar real quick. Once again, we do have to watch out for the poachers. They seem to spawn at about a 50% spawn rate, so we'll just keep an eye out for those guys. And I think I'm going to kill more in the area just to kind of keep this place as clear as possible. Alright, so with that, and no poacher. Okay. I'll try to catch back up with chat. Let's see. Yes, you do have my like. Oh, okay, so you're. Gotcha. Gotcha. Thank you, sir. Alright, so with that, we are 3 for 3 without poachers. And like it says, what's your biggest achievement? And wow, Zaku's. That's a good question actually. I never even thought of that. Biggest achievement. I've never been much of one to raid. So this expansion, I was able to actually kill. What was it? Kill Godan on normal. I wasn't able to kill him on heroic, but I was able to kill him on normal. So I was kind of proud of that. And I was able to do it while it was current, not necessarily after the next patch. Let me think. What else? I do have a couple rare pets, a couple rare mounts. I think the Onyxia mount's pretty nice. It did take me a little while to get that one. There's our poacher. But I've always wanted to. All throughout Legion, I want to get my prestige up to, I guess the latest stage now is what, 21? Prestige level 21? I would like to do that. So I think when we start opening up the afternoon content to PvP and you know, that type of gameplay, maybe we'll do a good bit of PvP. Sometime we'll see how that translates with chat. So PvP can get pretty competitive, and there's a different aura about it. So if it gets to where it's maybe too aggressive for a lot of people, we'll switch it to PvE. But I think for the most part we should be fine. I would like to do that. But no, I've been mostly, what do you want to call it? Heavily casual. We'll use that terminology. It's just I do a lot of things on a mediocre level. One thing is I do have 23 110s. Let's see what else is there. I did get the spider mount, so there we go. AH says, hiking, biking, gotta work. Alright, thanks AH. We're not farming rares, by the way. Thanks for stopping by. And Only says, oh, Hope it says, hey Q, good morning Hope. How are you doing? I almost missed that. Sorry about that. How is your morning going? And then Robert does have the lock. Okay, we do have it then. Sorry about that, Robert. I did forget who that was tied to. Alright, so we'll stay away from the horde base as much as possible. We might get that one right over there. And then Only says, Armory does not track the quest buffs. Elixirs have a state. Quest buffs do not. So yeah, Robert, you might be fine then. Try not to get too much closer here. There we go. And let's see, we need 2 more Fey Dragons, I think. I think this rare is stealth, because I feel like I've seen it before and then it just, oh shoot. Then it disappeared, so it might be a stealth one. I don't think I've killed it before. H is laughing at me. Yeah, like I said, trying to get to 60 as quickly as possible and then some. And Only says, state stupid auto incorrect. Don't let me stay stat. Oh, okay, gotcha. Alright, so let's go ahead, and I think I saw a dragon over here. Yep. And Wolf says, I imagine the versatility of a druid class might be good for Iron Man. I think so too. I think that would be a decent one, just because one, you have a caster aspect to it, and then you also have a tanking aspect to it. So you kind of get the best of both worlds there. Hoop says, oh, going good, thanks. Trying to enjoy my free day off, and then work again tomorrow and Saturday. Nice. Well, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate that. Alright, so we have all these turned in at the moment. Oh, there he is. Okay, so now we know. We'll open up with a Chaos Bolt, just to avoid any sort of mechanic that he might have. Alright, easy enough. And do we have to go further north? Yes, we do. Okay. We still have to kill 5 of these ogres, so we'll do that real quick. Fabio says, you got NPC scanner to find the rares? I do. I have NPC scanner and overlay as well. I guess you do. Yeah, I have I think scanner is the one that makes the whole screen red and gives everyone who's done the Iron Man challenge a small heart attack, but the overlay kind of puts them on the map for you. Like I said, this is probably the 8th time I've been out here. 7th time I've been out here, and I know this place pretty much by heart at this point. It's still fun though, as repetitive as it's been. The Iron Man has still been quite a bit of fun. I would still highly recommend it to anyone that's kind of looking for something different. If you're not too much into the end game, it does provide a different level of content, but also it's more immersive than anything else. You know, it takes an everyday boring quest and kind of livens it up when the sense that you cannot die is a part of the requirement. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and hit that second guy. I would hit the first guy, but it'd kind of be a waste of a Chaos Bolt, just because it would hit him for so much health. Alright, so let's go ahead and summon him back. Who says, no worries mate, I do tend to have either your streams or videos on my second monitor whilst I play on my first monitor. Very nice. I need to start doing that actually. And watching people stream. Have one on one monitor and gameplay on the other. I think usually, like I said, this one's 3 hours long, and at this time either someone that's streaming the Iron Man's is live, or there's also Missildine Online who does pretty good content. I enjoy watching his stuff. And then somebody's mother, I haven't seen her in a while. I need to check in on her and see how she's doing. But she also has a good early AM stream. Alright, so we have 2 minutes left on the Hearthstone. We'll go ahead and keep pushing this way. Generally speaking, I stay way out of this area. That's very unfamiliar horde territory, and I just don't want to risk getting one-shotted by those guys. Like I said, there's a rare over there, but it's just not worth chasing it down. It's so far out of the normal questing routine, as well as you don't really know where all the horde patrols are. It's just best to stay away from it. Let's see if we can squeeze through here without aggroing too much. Jennifer says the same. So both of you guys have 2 monitors. Very nice. One thing I did learn, if nothing else, when it comes to streaming, you have to have 2 monitors, just about. One to keep up with chat, and the other one to actually do the gameplay. Fortunately, I was able to find a used one. Alright, so with that, we'll go ahead and continue making our way. Avoiding all the red nameplates here. And I think we're going in this general direction, yeah. Maybe we can slide through here without aggroing. Yeah, we're fine. Okay. And he says, does your girlfriend know that you're talking to another woman? Do you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, there you go. She knows. There you go, T. We're not that uptight here. With that, we're going to weave our way through here. Nope, we're not. We're going to go in this direction. I think it's better to take a wider turn rather than cut through there and get too close to any sort of faction NPC. Alright, so with that, we'll blow that up. And keep sliding through here real quick. There we go. So we really don't have too much of a reason to kill these mobs, except just to plow through them. XP is XP at this point, but it's definitely not the most efficient way to level. It's just, I would rather stop and kill these things rather than run through them and aggro 3 or 4 and then get dismounted and have a wave of mobs to try to handle. With that, we'll go ahead and light this one up as well. And we're done. There we go. I think that should be it. I'm going to break my rule once again, just out of the spirit of the race, and we'll run by this guy. And off we go. So, what's that? Which one are you farming?
Oh, I'm the master seller here.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Alright, so with that, we've turned these two in. I think at this point it's going to have us go toward the western leg of the zone here. But it also has us kill the bugs, so before we head out that direction, we'll kill the bugs, knock those out, and that'll set us up pretty good for tomorrow to have all of what do you want to call it? 1,000 needles available. Donald says, I'm going to start a new warlock this morning. I've died too many times, 4 warlocks I think, and I'm the worst warlock ever. I don't know, Donald. I could probably give you a pretty good run for your money as being the worst warlock. I'm still learning this quite a bit myself, and no, don't feel bad by any means. When it comes to dying, that's all part of the Iron Man challenge. The little bit of advice I have tried to tell people is that if you do the Iron Man challenge, and you know, especially like say the warlock race, the idea is to, as difficult as it is, stick with the same race, and even more so stick with the same faction, because every time you die, you kind of learn a little bit new each time. But you know, if you say, for example, let's take my warlock here. I know that if I level in Darkshore and I go from Darkshore to Ashenvale to Stone Talon Mountains, I know I'm going to come across a rare name, Taskmaster Whipfang. And is that a rare? No. I know I'm going to come across that guy, and I also know that he has a Hate Second Fear, and the reason I know that is because we actually died to him. I'm going to dot this guy up. There we go. So I'm going to break a couple rules just to be able to get that rare, because sometimes that rare will go back inside and it's just a pain to fish him out. And I'm really surprised he didn't aggro that. Okay, there we go. So we'll get a little bit of health, get Sam back up here. But the case in point is that if I have, after I had died to the rare, if I go over and I switch to the horde side, I don't have the knowledge of all the one-shot mechanics and fights and dangers that, you know, are associated with the horde. So if there's any piece of advice I can give, it would be to, as much as possible, stick with the same not necessarily the same race. You can switch races, but I would say stay at least with the same faction and leveling path. That way you can kind of use your prior knowledge and deaths to your benefit. Jennifer says, is Lady Kuhn mount farming? Are you mount farming or pet farming?
No, I'm trying to get my mount on my mage.
Oh, no. She's trying to get her mount on her mage. So I think that the class mount. I still haven't gotten mine on my DK, but she's ahead of me in that sense. She's gotten hers on our priest and probably going to get hers on our mage before I get mine on my DK. That is funny, Lady Q. Paraton says, "Hi Q, able to get back? How long will you be streaming for?" Paraton, we're probably going to be wrapping it up here pretty soon. I just wanted to have a concrete stopping point. So once we're done with Fairless and we've made it to 1,000 Needles, we'll stop before we start in any of the quests within 1,000 Needles. So I would say we have maybe 15 minutes in Fairless. So excuse me. Let's go ahead and knock this guy out. Man, might have to use a Chaos Bolt. Oh, okay, never mind. That was a named mob. Good to know. So with that, we need 11 more of these normal bugs, and then we can knock out the other stuff. But yeah, I think Paradigm, it might be 20 minutes, but yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at the moment. Just so tomorrow morning, when we're starting 1,000 Needles, we can just consistently, and yes, the dreaded 1,000 Needles. We're gonna have, there's 3 main dangers in 1,000 Needles that I'm aware of so far. One is the ships. So when you jump up on the ships, your pet despawns and it gets stuck and everything else. And there's been an instance where I've seen the pet actually, when you jump off the boat, it'll travel all the way down the ship and somehow exit through one of the windows or doors. But as it goes down into the ship, it aggroes everything in the meantime. So for those ships, it's just tedious in the fact that we're going to have to dismiss our pet, then summon them back when we get on top of the ship, and then dismiss them again when we jump back off. So that one's going to be a little nerve-wracking. I'll be glad when that's done. Of course, we're going to watch out for the rare. We're going to take a different approach to trying to kill it. And if anything, if we can get around killing it altogether, we will. I'd rather not mess with it, just because if we engage it, there's no running away. That thing has a 60-70 yard cast that it hit us with, and there's just no escaping it. So I'm hoping that it's already dead by the time we get out there. But the other danger in 1,000 Needles is that when you go from spire to spire, I think it's about midway through the questing series, you have to kill these bosses, and the end boss, the last one that you have to kill, hits like a truck. And we were able to take care of it with the hunter just because we had that explosive damage, but with the warlock, I'm not 100% sure. Well, let's kind of see how it goes. We will be giving, I think we'll give Demonology a shot tomorrow, but probably, now I'm thinking about it, it's probably a bad zone to actually try a new spec, but we'll give it a shot. I hope. Jennifer says, "Good luck, madam." Recently got my Wolfhawk on my Huntress. Very nice. I need to get that on my Hunter. The Hunter pet and the, what do you call it? Monk pets. Probably my 2 favorite. And then Jennifer says, "Unfortunately, the buggy bug appeared to be right dead center of the questing zone." Yeah, pretty much. And that's kind of the bad thing about both of the rares that we've died to, is that there's just no getting around those guys. So we won't know what to expect this time. And as well, we have, if we do stay Affliction, we can open up with a Chaos Bolt and just hit it for, I'd say by that time we're probably hitting it for about 1,200 damage. So we can save up our soul shards and hit it twice and probably take out most of its health that way. I guess we'll kill this guy just because. Alright, so with that, that'll wrap up these two quests, and then we have just the ogres left. Perfect. Yeah, I might do, you know, I might do my DK mountain run today. I don't know. One of the things we're going to be doing is farming Firelands. She's also Lady Kuhn is also big into pets, so we're going to be farming that spider quite a bit. There's a the pet that drops off the first spider in the instant, the spider boss in the instant. So probably knock that out today. All right. So these two quests are pretty much the last two we need for the area. And then we should be in Storm 1,000 Needles at that point. I'm trying to figure out when we killed that rare last. I think we killed it on our way over here the second time, so I doubt it's going to be back up. We'll take a look just in case. The one thing I don't really care about this portion of the quest is that every time we come out of here to go up there, we have to run through this knoll camp. Oops. And it can just it can take a while just because you have to kind of kill your way through it. Says, I like your shirt. Thank you, Reliquits. If I'm saying that right. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Thank you. Here says, my main thing lately has been trying to get the Arcturus from Northrend. Arcturus. What is that, Jennifer? Is that a mount? Or is that a pet? I think that's a hunter pet, right? Alright, so we have to grind through here. But rather, Chris, how's your morning going, by the way? I didn't even ask you. Alright, let's go ahead and blow this guy up real quick. And we'll drain health. The alphas, the Woodpaw alphas hit pretty hard. The rest of these guys aren't too big of an issue. I'm sure if you got more than one or two on you, it could become a big issue, but for the time being, it's not that important. Just for the spirit of the Iron Man race, we're going to keep on running. See if we can not aggro this guy as well. Jennifer says Arcturus is the spirit bear. Oh, that it's actually Lady Kuhn is actually trying to farm that as well. We log on to our hunter every morning, and on one of the realms, I forget which one it is, but we log on there every morning, and the bear's never there. So Parrotin asks, do you ever stream when you're DK the 110 content? Parrotin, we probably will eventually. It's just lining up the schedule. Right now, I've just started my semester, so in combination with that and getting a little bit of stuff done around the house, that's content in progress, but we just haven't set up a schedule for it yet. I'd like for it as much as possible to be consistent, but yeah, we'll eventually get to that point. But no, I haven't done it quite yet. And Diebolt, I think I'm saying that right. Welcome to stream. Thank you for the subscription. Like I said, unfortunately, we are toward the tail end of our stream. We have these two quests, and then I think one more takes us to the the east side of Feraless, and then we'll be in 1,000 Needles, and then at that point we'll pick it up tomorrow and hopefully survive the stream tomorrow. Hopefully, there's a lot of dangers out there. All right, so with that, let's see if there's anything rarish looking. Nothing worth chasing down. And let's blow this guy up. Alright. We have to knock out six ogres of a certain type up in this camp, as well as kill the named Yeti. And that can be... The Yeti can hit hard. So we'll make sure we have Sam summon up to full health. Why is that thing... I'm still in combat. It's looking at me. I'm not sure why. I'm going to do a long cast just to take care of it. That was weird. It had aggro to me, but at the same time it wasn't doing anything. Alright, so I'm going to wait till I get a soul shard real quick. Or I'll just pull one off this guy. Let's see, Jennifer says, I think you tamed him. Jennifer says, I think you tamed him at one point. I'm only on a slightly more pop server, so I'm constantly competing with one or two other hunters. Yeah, and that's what we've noticed as well, is that every time we've popped on in the morning to see if we can get that bear. There we go. There's either been someone there or the bear hasn't been there at all, so it is a lot more sought after than I thought, and it actually almost killed us in the Ironman challenge, if I'm completely honest. It hits, if you do come across the area, we're talking about in Grizzly Hills, there's a bear that's a spirit bear, and when we tried to tame him, he hit us for about 40% of our health. So when he had hit us twice and we were down to about 20-25% of our health, and if he had got a third hit off before we finished taming him, we would have died right then and there. Unfortunately, we ended up dying the same day anyway, so we had all of, like, I don't know, 2 hours of playtime with the spirit bear. So it kind of comes with the nature of doing the Ironman challenge. Parrot says, I for one enjoy all your streams, so would welcome any additional streams. Alright, well thank you, Paradin. Yeah, one thing I was asking a little bit earlier was if people would prefer more PvE or PvP side content, or maybe some sort of balance in between it. Like I said, the biggest issue I'm having right now is just to make sure I set aside that time, and that way there's some level of consistency. But with that, we did lose Sam once again. And it looks like she just got into a tougher portion of the quest. You got this. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and... I think we have to kill, yeah, the 6 tamers and then the giant Yeti back there. Jennifer says, as a Healy tank, he's very popular. Oh really? I didn't even know he healed himself. We didn't even have him long enough to notice that. I think next time I do try to tame him, if we're lucky enough to come across him again, I'll definitely put a trap, a slowing trap in between me and him, because I think we just got extremely lucky. Oh, okay. That's a debuff there. I think we got extremely lucky in the fact that he didn't kill us as we were taming him. Alright, so let's do that. And I'm going to go ahead and build up my soul shards now, so I'm going to use more, what do you want to call it, fiery attacks? Excuse me. Just so we can build up those soul shards. I'm going to try to drop 2 on the Yeti when we get a chance. And let's see. Jennifer says, you can do it, little mage. She is a gnome. That actually works out perfect. Alright, so let's see. And with that, blow up this one. Pitbull says, back again. I guess I missed a lot. Just started leveling a lot, level 6 or so. And thanks for the inspiration. No problem, Pitbull. Welcome to the Ironman race, by the way. That's fun. Like I said, it's a open invitation for anyone. You guys are more than welcome to join. You don't have to stream to... Oops, that's not what I wanted. You don't have to stream to be a participant in it. And I think we'll get this off just in time. Perfect. Right, so that's done. That's done. I think we'll hearth out of here. The Yeti does spawn semi-quickly, so... Last time, I think he spawned while we were hearthing. But Lop says, what's going on, Lops? Good morning. How you been? I haven't seen you in a little while. Go ahead and sell this stuff. Let's see, want to browse your goods. And we'll start setting aside the BOE items here. We did get quite a few of them today, so that'd be nice. Let's see, that's soulbound. We did get some cloth boots. Put that back. I still have not received a what do you want to call it? A upgraded. Oh, we did get shoulders though. Nice. There we go. Let's set those aside. That is soulbound. That's junk. That's soulbound. It's kind of surprising. A lot of this stuff that I pick up, that's BOE, I actually don't have in my transmog closet. So I might have to make an alt just to throw some of this stuff on it. Alright, so with that, we'll throw this up as well. Set aside our new gear. That's soulbound. So this is the more tedious part of the questing process, just kind of going through all your gear and setting it up so that you don't accidentally sell any BOEs, as well as the potential meat items that drop. That's soulbound. Ooh, we got some leggings. Nice. Still no robe though. I've been hoping to upgrade my robe for about a week now. Interlace, so that's the same boots, but we did get an upgrade in the shoulders. So we'll sell that real quick. Jennifer says, all spirit beasts have a healing ability called Spirit Mint. Oh, do they? Okay. I didn't know that was only in the... I thought it was only named mobs, or certain spirit beasts. I didn't know it was all of them. Follow says, I can't use freezing trap instead of slow. Back in vanilla, that's how I tamed it. No, I don't think you can use freezing trap anymore. I think you have to use slow if I remember that right. So maybe I'm wrong. Jennifer says you can use ice trap. Okay. Well, there you go, guys. Amateur hour. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and... Like I said, this is what I've enjoyed more about the stream than anything else, is the continuous learning. So, Pablo says, alright, thanks. As a vanilla player, so I don't know the mechanics are now. Yeah, and I'm not a vanilla player, and evidently I still don't know the mechanics, Fabio. There we go. So, all good. Lops says, I've been raiding, just got home from my girlfriend's. Well, welcome back, Lops. Like I said, we'll probably have one quest left. Once we make it to 1,000 needles, we'll call it for the day, and then save the entire day of tomorrow for 1,000 needles and maybe Felwood. I think we'll head back up to Felwood after surviving 1,000 needles. Let me look at the map. I think, yeah, we're level 41. We may not finish in 1,000 needles just because a lot of the quests are kind of dangerous there. We only have to be level 45 to get to Felwood, so we'll see how it plays out tomorrow. But I think for the most part, we're just going to get to Felwood as quickly as possible. Jennifer says, I've done a lot of research in the spirit beasts, and I like a lot of them. Yeah, you know, I've only tamed maybe in my, over a decade of playing Warcraft, I've tamed maybe 3 or 4. And Ben says, just sub, this is pro. Well, thank you, Ben. I appreciate that. Thank you, everyone, for the subs and likes this morning. How's your morning going so far, Ben? We are halfway through the Iron Man challenge for this month. And like I said, you definitely don't have to stream to be a part of it. It is an open invitation to anyone. And I think we need to use this guy to go out to the west. Yes. There we go. So we saved this quest for last just because it puts us right over here, and there's really no quest to come back, if that makes any sense. You have to kind of run your way back, and it just takes a lot of time. So it's more sufficient to leave this quest for last. We don't mess with this one. Oh, we do. This one's not bad. But what we don't do is go anywhere near this portion of the road. There's a horde patrol, so you don't want to mess with that right there. See the little icon, the horde icon? Just don't want to mess with those guys at all. Even like I said, even if you can survive, yeah, these guys are also horde. You're flagged for PvP, and you just have so many new problems that it's not worth it. Here says, oh, Ben says midnight here in Sydney, Australia. Well, welcome from Australia. How are you doing? Midnight. I don't think I've been up at midnight for quite some time. I mean, we're talking like maybe a year or so. Alright, so with that, we'll blow up this guy as well. And Jennifer says they just introduced 2 or 3 new spirit beasts: a griffin in Stormwind, a raptor in Orgrimmar, and a fox in Duskwood. You know what? I think I saw a video the other day with a fox in Duskwood. So, oops. Keep using the wrong spell there. The fox looks pretty neat, but I'm kind of more of a fan of all the spirit beast cats, especially the ones from Mount Hydra. Those look pretty neat. I wish they would put one in game that looks like the what do you call it? The monks cats that they get when they do their special attacks. Those look pretty cool. Kind of like Zufu, I think his name is. Alright, so with that, we have 2 more we need to... Oh, you know what? No. The Dryads. You know what? Yeah, no. We'll skip the Dryads. That's just more of a headache and unnecessary than anything else. But Jay says, cue my man Jay. Good morning. How are you doing? How's everything going your way? We're going to summon Sam back real quick. And that's going to be 7. So usually when you turn this quest in, it automatically puts you in a boat, and you are now on your way to 1,000 Needles. That's fantastic. He timed that stun perfect. Alright, so maybe we can jump in the boat anyway. Yep, we can. See, Drew says, I'm trying to figure out where the 2 tigers are. I think you have to kind of clear out that quest line in the area in Mount Hydra, and then you have access to the 2 cats and the spirit beast owl, I believe. If not, you definitely have to clear the questing out in Mount Hydra to be able to get the 1 cat. I don't know about both now I'm thinking about it. Here says the tiger the monks have is a representative of the wild beast Zwin, I think is how you say it. Yeah, they just have a really nice aesthetic about them. It would be kind of neat if we could tame something similar to that. We do kind of have that as a fire mount. I think you could purchase... When did we get the... let me pull that up real quick. This one. Something similar to that, I think. Same model, I believe. Says, I agree. He's awesome looking. Yeah, if we could just tame that, that would be the best. Just to have the... I guess at that point you'd have to ask for a pet so that everything kind of matched each other. Osman says, hey Q, I finally got WoW and I'm super excited. Osman, well, welcome. Welcome to Warcraft. I'm excited for you. Are you doing the Iron Man challenge, or are you just going to level up as quickly as possible and do in-game stuff? Hop says, dang, normally I stay up to 3 AM to watch you. Oh, sorry, Lops. Like I said, it's going to be a 3-hour stream. Well, we're closed in on 4 hours, so gone a little bit outside the normal window. But yeah, we'll wrap it up in Thousand Needles for today. That way we can kind of come back in Thousand Needles tomorrow with a fresh mindset and be able to think more clearly. A lot of the issues that people have with the Ironman Challenge is it's super addicting, and you push yourself further than sometimes you think you can go, and then your pulls get lazy, and you know, you just don't think through everything. It kind of progressively turns into a subconscious speed race, and you end up killing yourself. So I think 1,000 Needles is one of the zones we need all the brain cells we can muster to complete it. But with that being said, let me go ahead and set my Hearthstone here. There's a couple quests that we can do while we're on the barge, so we'll knock those out. First of which being setting our Hearthstone, just so we don't accidentally hearth back to Fairless tomorrow. Alright, so make this our home. So that part's done. Jennifer says, if you mean Battle Pet, there is one, the Celestial Cub from Timeless Isle. Oh, I did get that one. It's just hopefully maybe there's a fire looking one that kind of matches the mount. But they don't even have one that you could tame in game yet, so maybe in the near future. I'm really kind of curious. I don't know where I'm going actually. Let's go back. I'm really kind of curious at what all the next expansions are going to hold. Like if they make it into a whole nother, you know, world that you go to, it's going to be pretty interesting at how creative they're going to allow themselves to get. Because if they're making content and the expansion is going to end up being in a whole nother planet, there's really no limit as to what they can create. You just tie it into the fact that it's on another planet. As with Azeroth, you kind of have to tone it down and make it relatable to the rest of the world, but they're pretty much free to do what they want when it comes to another planet. So I'll accept that, and we'll turn it in here. Paradin says, thanks for the stream, Kim. Great fun. See you tomorrow. Alright, Paradin. Appreciate the stopping by and being a part of today's stream, by the way. And thank you, everyone. I know we're reaching the last leg. We might level by the end. I think we have to buy a little grog here and throw it on a goblin. But for those who are eventually leaving, thank you guys for being a part of today's stream. As always, it's a lot of fun just leveling with everyone and talking in chat and learning everything. Actually, I've already learned a couple of things today, so appreciate that. Let me purchase the thing here. We need to purchase a bottle of grog, find a goblin, and then throw it on it. And we'll turn that in over here. And I think that'll hit us right at 42. Nice. Perfect timing. We are now the level that we died at last time. In the same zone too, so this is where we'll call it day. I'll log it out just so we have a... Oh, no, not yet. What I try to do is log out in an area that's not generating rested XP. So just to kind of continue that, I guess the end extends all the way over here, so let's go ahead and see if we can stand on the edge. I don't know if this applies to the whole barge or just one portion of it, so let's try that again. Oh, it does. Okay. Alright, we'll try that one more time. If it doesn't work, this next one will we'll just say it's okay and go about it. There we go. So we'll stand on the smaller one over here. Just in the spirit of the Ironman Challenge to make it a little bit more difficult and as challenging as possible. Up says, that reminds me of the Windwalker Zelda boat. It does a little bit. Man, it's been a long time since I played Zelda. I've actually seen someone play Zelda. I thought Nintendo had a pretty strict rule against that, but maybe Nintendo's easing up here recently. But we did make it level 42. I'll put this up as well. Iron Man rules are on your right. The challengers for this month are on your left, and it's a free invitation. If you guys want to be a part of it, you're more than welcome to. But that is it for today, guys. So thank you very much for being a part of the stream. We managed to make it from 36 to 42, so it's not bad today. We did fairly well. But that is it, and let's see what else. We will be here back tomorrow, 6 a.m. Probably another 3-4 hour stream, and then we're off to the weekend. So with that being said, you guys have a great rest of the day, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Alright guys, bye.
Want my keys go. Did I want my keys going? Want my keys go.